What's up, and welcome back to the Section 10 podcast, episode 501, presented by Underdog Fantasy. It is the home of your 70-67 third place Boston Red Sox. My name is Jared Carabas, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Coley Mick, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Tyler Milliken, and he killed his dog Bullet, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, realest guys in the room. Steve, how you doing?
Ooh, what up, Section 10 in the building?
In the mother fucking building. Presented by Blue Moon.
Suck one.
Produced by Jake Yazzie.
Fuck yeah.
The WooSox wanted me to do that with a live mic in front of a sold out crowd at Polar Park, to which I said, I can't do that. First of all, my social anxiety would not allow me to do such a thing. Second of all, the awkward silence that would resonate throughout the entire ballpark after we were done. People would be like, I feel like people would like look at each other and be like, do we stand up and put our hands over? Like, I don't
Especially
know what's
the
going
bullet
on.
part. Like the dog part is not going to go over well to anybody. No one's going to think that's funny except the people who know the joke.
Yeah,
You know,
it's one of those things, man, where it would have been a moment in time. Like, I think if I didn't have the foresight to know that that's what was going to be the reaction, then we would have been on a one-way alley to a memorable moment of like just, it would have been funny. There have been absolute crickets after we did the Section 10 intro. But I knew that was going to be the case, you know? I mean, but Steve got to do his part, which was cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
I mean, no one said anything. Like, no one did their part, but that's okay. They probably were confused. They're probably, I didn't know, you know?
I did listen for an echo to see if they did your part after you said that, and there was nothing.
Nothing. I think that
it was cool.
Disappointing.
Yeah,
disappointing.
I think I know when Jerry doesn't want to do something, and when it was pitched to you, I saw in your face, I'm like, oh, he's not doing this. There's no, you're like, I just don't know about that. Yeah. I think because you're good at immediately like dissecting something. Is like, is this gonna suck or could this be good? Mm-hmm. And I think everything in your brain was like, this is a bad idea. Yeah. Don't do this.
Don't do it.
Especially, and I the guy had asked me before because you guys were still wrapping up, I think, with Teal, and he was like, do you think he's gonna? I'm like, I'm gonna lean no, but you can ask him. I think he's gonna say no, especially the last line. I mean, let's be honest. Like, we're not.
Can't do that.
We got kids there. We probably can't be doing
kids. That. Like when I like have overwhelming panic and anxiety, I get like these two balls in the back of my skull, just like I don't even know. It's like a buzzing pressure, not a headache, but just like tension right fucking here in the back of my skull. And the second he asked me, it was just like I was like, oh no, I can't do that.
What was it? What was it like?
I was like I can't do it. Can't do it. I was couldn't do it, but also knew that it would like the intro goes on for too long, you know. For a live mic, I can do that at a live show because all the people that are there to hear that. At a WooSox game, you know how many people are like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Well, we're also like first pitch number 30, I think, for that game. Yeah. So there's probably a lot of people like, start the damn game.
Yeah,
like we're here to see the players.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, that was an awesome day.
Incredible.
Do you think it would be less awkward at Fenway just because it's so many more people? Like, it's almost, Worcester's not like a small, like Polar Park's not small by any means, but it's a minor league park. Like, it holds 9,000.
Yeah.
9,000 feels very intimate, whereas 38,000, not as much. Like, it's just like, this is actually kind of funny if it gets very quiet.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, when we did the first pitch at Portland, it was so last minute where they just kind of asked me and Coley, and we were like, yeah, sure. And then we just did it immediately. Like, we didn't have time to think about it. We didn't know that we were going to do it. We didn't have time to prepare for it. We just went out there and we did it. And it's, there's no nerves there. But Fenway's going to be a big one. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm also just trying to delay talking about this Tiger series because I'm fucking furious about it. I don't know how you guys feel in terms of.
I feel great.
Thrilled.
I know that you're not pumped about it, but like
a lot of good things from this series.
There's a difference between like I'm furious about this Tiger series and now like my outlook on the entire season has changed. But before we get there, the MLB season's in full swing, and Underdog Fantasy wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats, strikeouts, total bases, home runs, and so much more. Make entries of all baseball, or you can mix and match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. We did a special promo with Shohei Ohtani recently. We've been killing the promos recently. So if you're a big baseball fan, don't even have to be just a Red Sox fan. If you're a big baseball fan, I stand by it. Underdog has the best promos in the game for MLB fans. And we're going to be having some specials coming up with the Red Sox as well that coordinate with the Section 10 night at Fenway Park. Stay tuned for an announcement. If you didn't listen to the end of episode 500, then we have an announcement in just a minute. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's JARED to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. All right, listen up. So we're going to talk a little bit about the WooSox night. It was very cool. We want to give it enough love as possible. But announcement. If you didn't make it to the end of episode 500, because I know that, the podcasts are long, whatever, yada, yada, go fuck yourself if you don't listen to the whole thing.
Cook 'em.
Yeah. September 9th.
Let them have it for some reason.
September 9th, Section 10 night at Fenway Park, redsox.com/Section10 to get your tickets. Here's what we're going to do. We got printed these very cool, very limited edition. You can only get them this way. Limited edition Section 10 night t-shirts. It's got the green monster like scoreboard with the date. It says Section 10 night. We're going to be giving these away for free. No money, for free. You go to the House of Blues at 3 p.m. before the game, September 9th, Section 10 night at Fenway Park. We will be there at 3 p.m. All you have to do is show us your cellular device that shows that you have an Underdog Fantasy account and that you have placed a wager on that night's Red Sox Baltimore Orioles game. Any pick you like. Any 2 picks you like, yeah. It's 2 picks?
You can't make just 1 pick.
Any 2 picks. Any 2 picks you like.
1 slip, 2 picks.
1 slip, 2 picks. Any 2 picks you like. And then you will receive a free Section 10 night t-shirt. Courtesy of us.
I would argue you could be making money by getting this shirt.
That's true.
That's your call. That's big the time. User's call. You know what I mean? That's not my business. But you could be making money and getting the shirt.
It's a fucking great point, Coley. Time and time again, this guy just makes great points. Kerry Carpenter.
Tell him why you're wound up like this.
Just like me.
I'm wound up for a multitude of reasons. I'll be honest with you. First and foremost, can I just talk about the fucking cookout I was at earlier today, dude?
Oh.
Yeah.
What was the food situation?
Let me fucking tell you, dude. This is my sister's cookout, by the way.
Oh boy.
Who you love. Your favorite person ever. Who came to Worcester for you yesterday. 0% chance this is going to be positive.
I appreciate the support. I really do.
Filet mignon.
Listen how crazy this is. All right? So I show up there with my beautiful girlfriend. She's fucking amazing. She came to Worcester as well. Great girl. All right? So we show up,
and then there's this girl, Jenna.
So we show up.
No way. No. Is that it? Oh.
I do.
I'm going to kill myself. Oh, my God. No. If that's all we got in, like we haven't talked about anything at all.
I think he'll be back, but it's not like a normal blip. I think
it hit me after 3 seconds. I'm like, this isn't a normal outage.
Steve, you were a little quick to call it. I thought, I was like, oh wait, hold on, this is the last.
I think he was right. He was obviously right.
All right, seems like Jared's dead. It's
Rest in
unfortunate timing because, like, I wanted to know how that cookout went. Like, it cut out right
It
when he
killed
was
him.
going to get it. I know. Yeah, it sounds like it, but it cut out right where he was starting to get into the good stuff. One would think Jenna maybe cut the cord. She might have been the reason that the power went out or that he's dead. One of the two.
Could you blame her? She went all the way to Worcester for him yesterday.
Yeah. And he's been basically shitting on her for 30 plus years. So I think at that point, you might want to cut the power out. So maybe that's what happened with him. But we're talking WooSox, though. WooSox were incredible in our time in Worcester. What did we even address already? Did we like?
We
I think
haven't
we
really
talked
talked about
about.
anything.
We haven't really talked about anything, right? Like,
Jared talked about him not doing the intro. He only covered things he didn't even do.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, so he didn't do the intro, which I knew wasn't going to happen. Like I think, and to his credit, it's just not the spot for it. Like it wouldn't have really felt right. Like I was totally fine doing the what up thing. Is like, okay, like if there's a podcast thing now, let's all do the pitch. Tyler, I think we had a similar opinion when they told us we were doing the first pitch by ourselves. I thought this was going to be a group thing, right? Like they kind of caught us off guard with that.
It wasn't even just that. It was on top of the mound. Every single person, the 15 people before us that threw the first pitch were all in front of the mound. So when they said we had to get on and like they're coming over and they're telling us like, hey, we never let anybody go on the mound. Like this is a very special moment for you guys. I think they said Scott Zolak, the person I do radio with, was the only other person. So like, I'm like, I don't know why.
I like the clarification there.
I don't know if people know. Some people know I do radio. I don't know.
Hold on. You think people listening to this show know you and not Scott Zolak?
I don't
All
know if it's a baseball person. Some
that
people are like,
washed-up guy I do radio with, like he was just the quarterback of the Patriots. Like
I'm very excited.
I don't know.
I know when a clip's going to circulate your office. This is. I mean, Zolak might beat the shit out of you.
You
And I
might
wouldn't
be
blame him
dead.
if he did.
Tyler, this might be the end of you. I don't.
He might
It's
hate
like-
you more than Bob now. Like that might be.
no, nobody hates me more than Bobby Delvick. I promise you that. Despises me.
Wait till
The
Zoe hears
person
that
I
clip.
do radio with. That is what Scott
Some
Zolak
people
is
don't
now.
listen to both.
Like he's your producer. That's how you
Oh,
say
no,
it.
no.
You made
I
him sound like
serve
your
Scott
intern.
Zolak.
That's
I
this kid
serve
down at
him.
the station. Good kid. He gets me coffee on Tuesdays.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'll
this
try
young
and give
kid,
him a
Scottie
quarter.
Z. Yeah, he does all the chores for us, and I let him get a couple points in at the end of the show.
Scott Zolak feeds and takes care of me.
He does. He's just in that little booth on he's taking calls. He's like, yeah, we got the lines lit up, guys. You might want to get to little Scottie Zolak. That's hilarious.
Little hustle there, Scott. Come on.
Come on,
Come
give me a
on.
sign.
Radio here, kid.
We got no lines. Come on, who's going to be calling in here, Scotty? But
That's
no, it is
unbelievable.
Tyler. You're definitely right. They told us it's just little Scottie Zolak, and then it's us that we're going to be throwing from the mound. Like that was it. And the guy came out like, as at first we found out that we were going to be throwing solo, and then he told us you also have to do it from the mound. Like you can't. And I like it from the mound for the pictures and stuff. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what like the top thing was. It's like we want to have some good pics, some good videos, post on the socials and all that. The actual pitches, though, I thought Jake was the MVP. There's a chance Jake is just like a baseball player and we just don't know. Like, do you play ball, Jake?
I played ball back in the day, little league action, but I felt like I could throw a ball. It was my first pitch ever, so I want to put a little zip on it.
Yeah, it's impressive.
What, Tyler?
What, Tyler?
I want to say some things. Jake, I'm not here to,
We don't have
disrespect
any
you.
music. Jake,
I
your
can't get
suspension
suspended, so
music.
fuck all you guys.
Damn it, we don't
no
have the
one's
music.
taking me out today,
Just
baby.
Mute him. Get him out. He's
Jake-
tossed. Yeah, gone. Get the fuck out of here. We can edit the music after the fact. You don't need it right now.
Jake
if Jared
just-
really did die, who do you think would be in charge of suspensions? It would be me or Jake. And
I think
we both want
he.
you gone.
No, Jared, if he died, wouldn't want me suspended moving forward. I think he'd free me. I'd be, released
There's
from
no
my chains.
chance. He would want you
No.
suspended more.
Jake
That's
just came
correct.
out
Like
throwing
when
gas.
like an old Egyptian emperor would die and they'd bury his alive cat with him. That's what Jared would want with you.
It's the end of Tyler Milliken as well.
Yeah, thank you. All right, out of
come
here.
on.
Yeah, tossed.
There we go.
Heaved. We're
All
not
right,
gonna
nice.
come slander Jake's athleticism, Tyler, which is exactly what you're about to do. What I did appreciate is Jake went last, and all the rest of us lobbed it, so the catcher was like, here comes another lollipop, and then bang, right? Fucking 92,
Yeah.
up and in.
That was impressive. I mean, we weren't really, none of us were trying to throw it hard.
No.
Like, I don't think that was the goal for any of us. Honestly, we were just trying to get the pitches over there. And Jared set the tone, which was good. At first off, he's like, okay, just going to get this thing over. We're not doing anything crazy. I thought we all agreed. Jake was like, I did not agree to that. I signed up to throw this ball 100 miles an hour. And I watched the video back. It looks even faster in the video.
Yes!
Much faster.
Like, comes out of his arm like a slingshot. It's like, what is it? Rookie of the
like-
year?
Yes,
Phil
it's rookie
Rivers
of the
in.
year. Exactly.
Yeah, it was like funky butt loving. Like, that's how the ball came out of Jake's hand. And yeah, actually, yeah, that's a
Whoa.
good point.
Yeah,
And,
careful.
no, it's a phrase though. It's not just the word.
No,
it's
I
not just the
know.
word.
That's why I said careful. That's all
No,
I'm
that is
saying.
true. That is true. That is true. But no, that was a blast. Obviously, the diner there, that was a whole thing. You know, going to the diner and meeting all the Section 10 listeners. Honestly, what did we expect? Let's put it that way. What did we expect from the turnout? Because it was more than I expected. That's for damn sure.
Way more. I don't know. I'm always, it's not self-deprecating, but it's just like, I always expect people to not care about us at all. Not,
100%.
And not even like in a bad way. It's
No,
just like, who
just
the
in
fuck
like,
are
oh yeah,
we?
they do their thing, but like also to want the signatures, the photos, like all that stuff.
Right. It's like, I don't feel like I'm deserving of any of that.
Yeah.
It's not awkward because everyone's so friendly and so awesome, and it was great to meet people. But I expected like 12 people when we got there,
Yeah.
and it was like hundreds, and I was just like, that's amazing. Like it really does warm my heart.
I mean, we've had some obviously really cool moments with the live shows and all that, but I look at Tyler and I think, like, what did you expect, Tyler? Because this is your first experience getting something like this with Section 10.
It was trippy, honestly, because the closest thing I could compare it to is like the Name Redacted live event we did, which was just, a different level, compared to what we're doing now, where, you're bringing back the people who were fans beforehand. There were a good amount of people that took off when Name Redacted started up and then came back when Section 10 did. But to meet so many people and feel like, holy shit, we're friends. Like, people that are listening and get all the inside jokes that want to talk about them with you. It just felt like going to a party where you knew everyone. And the fact that it was supposed to be only a couple innings, like, hey, you guys are going to come out for the third and, we'll be done by the sixth, to go the entire game and they were still telling people to go away at the end. Absurd. Like, we're leaving and people are asking for pictures. Like, I could have never imagined that in a million years.
No, the setup, I think we did the best job we could with the setup, because that diner setup they have there is really for one person. It's like, it's for Eckersley, it's for Jim Rice, it's for Trot Nixon. Those are three of the guys they've had this season. The fact that we have five of us kind of lined up with the stools is like not really conducive to like a meet and greet, but credit to the WooSox again. Like, they did a great job with this. I don't think they expected that turnout. They expected a good turnout, but not one that would go from like the second inning to the end of the game. That's essentially what ended up happening. My favorite part with all of that was seeing the evolution of our shirts. Because, I think I saw like a Bill's Bar giveaway shirt we had. Then it's all the way up to a Clark's Ketchup one that came out like last week. And that's when you really get to see how much people care about the show and how long they've been listening. Like, you guys know, I like yapping with the listeners. I like, picking their brains on what they like, what they don't like. I try to tell them they should like a clean 40 instead of a 3-hour show.
Yeah,
and they always say,
they're out.
They always say, shut up, you're wrong. Do the 3-hour show instead. You're the only one that likes clean 40. But it was just great. I mean, it's really cool picking people's brains and, seeing where they're coming from and how they consume what we put out there. Because, Coley, to your point, like, you never really, like, we've been doing this for a while. Obviously, Tyler, haven't been able to be in the industry for as long as we have because you're younger than us. But like, we've all been doing this kind of stuff and trying to get to this point for a while. And specifically with Section 10, when you put as many shows out as we put out over the years, obviously 2-year break there. I think that's another reason why I didn't think that it was going to be to this level. It's like, this felt like we never left. Like, this felt like there wasn't any break or anything, which I think was the most impressive part.
It helped that for sure the team was bad those years too. Like, if the team had been awesome, I think it would have been different for people. But I think a lot of people are disconnected from the team, is like where we couldn't have picked a better 2 years to not exist, honestly.
Yeah, it is true. There's a lot of people just say, like, I don't even, remember what happened with those seasons. I'm like, same. I think we've all kind of intentionally blocked it out of our brains, like what's happened the last 2 seasons. It's just all bad, none of it good. And we're going to get into the Tigers series, but we're kind of in a similar point at this point at the start of September where it's like, okay, now you kind of feel like, are you out of it again at the start of September? Like, is that where you're at, Tyler?
Yeah, I think when you look at like what September 1st has been the last couple of years, you were 7.5 out, right? So like today I kind of put out the tweet saying like, hey, you didn't completely sink before, September 1st for once. It's a little bit of a different outlook. You are 4.5 today, but considering, the Royals have lost 5 in a row, the Twins have lost, 4 in a row between the 25th and the 28th. The Blue Jays and the Blue Jay series and this one here against the Tigers, how often did we talk about this is where you go? And you went 3-5. Like at the end of the day, this is the point in the season where 2 teams in front of you went on losing streaks. You didn't capitalize whatsoever. And now you look right behind you and how quickly you have the Mariners a half game back you along with the Tigers. Like teams that, in the Tigers sold and they're now right on your ass. It's depressing. It's depressing as hell.
It's not what you want at all. But yeah, that's it for Red Sox talk. WooSox, I just really thought it was great. I really think they put out the red carpet for us, so no complaints.
You met no less than 75 Steves, and none of them spelled the name you do.
All PH. And they did the thing where they're like, you're a PH, right? And I'm like, no, dude, I'm a V. But that's always, it's Steve. Like PH does not make a V. That's always been my thing. And it's, I try not to make a whole thing out of it, but anytime I see a PH, I'm like, what the hell, dude? Then again, it's not their choice. It's the parents' choice.
But it is like how you enunciate it, too, because it's not Stephen Curry. You know what I mean? You don't even know what I'm talking about until I say Stephen Curry, because it's obviously an F sound. Yeah,
it couldn't be more of an F, but no, it balanced it out because they were there. They're present. They got the Section 10 shirt, so it's like the fact you're a PH isn't as bad as it would be if you weren't at this event right now. Like you get some more points for being there. But
yeah, it's how I felt about the Connecticut people, because they all tell me like it. One couple was just like, "Oh, we're from your least favorite place," and immediately I was just like, "Oh, Connecticut." They get it. They know why I hate it, which I appreciated. They obviously want to leave and they try to get freed from those shackles. But yeah, being like when you talk about why Worcester probably does it out there, like Worcester, Jim Rice, Eck, all those people who do go there, they're like real, like they matter. You know what I mean? So people see them, they're like, oh yeah, I will take a picture and autograph and then keep going. We yap for a living.
Yeah.
People are going to yap, and especially being in front of you and Tyler. Tyler was like ready to he was trading life stories with everyone.
Was I that bad, dude? Multiple people have said this to me now.
No,
Tyler, we get chat. I think we can get a little chat. I was just
excited. I was so excited.
Of course. It's amazing. Like I wish I could do that, but especially towards like 75% of the way through, people would be like, "Oh man, you look exhausted." I was just like, I'm not built for this many people. Like, it's just not. I've had people tell me like, "Oh, that guy sucks in real life." It's like, yeah, I do. I know that. Like, I suck on here. It's just not how I handle things. So I felt extra bad being like, I'm first. I don't want to say I got my interaction out of the way, but me and this person have exhausted our conversation, and now they're just waiting. It's like, do I go to the next person? Like, I'm not the guy to have at the front of the line there. That Steve's more welcoming.
Steve, I thought you were leading in yaps, if I'm being honest. I was like,
I was first in yaps.
People are holding their time with Steve, and they were enjoying it.
Yeah, well, in that scenario, once I just kind of get going, I'm like, all right, well, now we're talking, like now we're going to be doing this for a while. And to Coley's point, it's, again, the setup at the diner. If you stop talking and they have no space to move forward, you're just looking at them from 2 inches away. You're just like, so are we gonna have a stare off? Like, what is this? What's the next step here? I don't know where you go from there. But
because it was like, I will keep talking, but I'm not gonna initiate it either. Like, I know I gotta talk to the next person. You got 3 more people. You're done talking for the day.
And with Coley, like, we say Coley's 7 feet tall, like he is. I don't think like the amount of people that always say you're actually, we're not lying. Like Coley's the tallest person I've ever seen in my life, and he looks taller in person. So we'll have people that are, on the shorter side that'll come up, and I'm looking over, and Coley, you're doing a great job, holding court and all that. I think we all did a really good job of doing that in a small space. But in scenarios where I can tell you've used all the words you got to use, you're now towering over this person, and it's just like a funny sight where it's like just in nature, it looks like you're gonna like beat this person up. So I'm like, what's gonna happen here? But
it was a very intimate kind of thing.
No, Coley's a very nice looking individual. It never looks like he's gonna actually beat someone up. But if you just did the size battle, it's like
no, for sure.
Yeah,
even
that
their
part of it was
photographers, like the Worcester photographers, there are amazing. And I think it was Ashley. What was her name?
Ashley and Taylor were awesome.
Yeah, she stood next to me when we all took a picture, and immediately after, she was like, "I shouldn't have done that."
Yeah,
I didn't know how small I was going to look.
She's like, that was easily the dumbest idea of the day. But no, shout out to them. I mean, they did an incredible job. I almost felt like I love getting the post up afterwards of, trying to sum up the day. We had like 1,000 photos and videos to pick from. Like they got
Crazy.
Every angle of the first pitch, every angle of the interviews we did with these guys. Like it's next level what they did for us in Worcester, doing the radio call. You guys, Tyler and Jared's dead, but got to do the TV. All right, it sucks that he died because I know I'd want to talk about this, but got to do the TV call. Like that whole thing was awesome. Tyler, I was praying for Bobby to go deep when you were in the booth.
It was scary. It was so scary. And
of course, it happened Sunday, which sucks. Like if anything,
everyone homered today.
Dude,
a better game.
Sunday was the best game ever. This was like, and didn't it feel like, by the way, and I see it from you guys, like I see it on your Twitters, that they just, every game in Worcester is just a home run fest. Like I swear, literally every day is like, oh yeah, Campbell's got like 3 bombs. Everyone's like Grissom went deep. Everyone goes deep there. And then we go and they score 0 runs. It was crazy.
It's a beautiful hitting environment. Like Teal, like you get your first homer on top of that. But the TV stuff was super cool on our end. We did a lot of 2007 Red Sox talk, and it was kind of,
is that all you do?
That was really it. They were just like, Tyler, all we hear you talk about is the 2007 Red Sox and prospects all the time. They're like, why do you love 2007 so much? And Jared was disgusted the entire time, but we did it with Tyler Murray, and he was an awesome dude, and we were able to kind of chop it up about some of the prospects and everything going on. But it was a lot of the reasons why, Jared chose to bring me along to all this for any reason, and he talked me up in a way he didn't have to.
I honestly wouldn't be stunned if they were like, so, what are you guys seeing at a Grissom? Like, when do you think he's going to get there? You're like, have we talked about Jonathan Papelbon from 2007 recently? Because what he did, and you'd have like all the stats ready to go. Would not be surprised at all. But love doing the radio stuff. The radio, call. Coley, I'm sure you probably felt the same way. I thought we hadn't even gotten going yet, and a whole inning happened. I was like, I think we've barely said anything. And I certainly have strong opinions on the in-game interviews during Red Sox games. Yeah, I don't know. I think most of them are just not necessary at all. Like, I understand they try to break it up a little bit, but then when we're in that position, it's like, oh yeah, this is why they can be choppy, because you can't say 3 words without an out happening.
It was crazy how quick, and it was also like when something did happen, and they were the least eventful 6 outs, I think, possible. Like in the history of baseball, they were the least eventful. But the one time Grissom sent one to left field, I thought Grissom went deep, which would have been unbelievable, because I would have went crazy on that call. Probably FCC violation. But like it was like I didn't want to. When he did pop up, I just went and then it was dead air. I was like, that was the worst call ever. But I didn't want to step on them. Like I didn't want to step on the actual professionals. I didn't want to commandeer their call. Because if he did go yard, like this fucking idiot yelling about it. They're like, oh, that's the only action we had today, and we didn't even get to say it.
Well, I think we forgot we had the headsets on because me and you both were going like, and it's like that's the literal number one thing you don't want to do on radio. Like, what the hell what does that mean? Like, what the fuck is going on in the booth? And credit to Mike and Jim, they're great. And you can tell they've been doing this for a while. They're trying to like do the call, and we're just like, I don't know, because he initially said it's like it's going to be caught, and then we're throwing in these dumb sound effects behind him.
But dude kept drifting back. I think at Fenway that scrapes the wall, so that's where I was just like,
yeah. I think what we did would have been great for the TV call. I think that's obviously where you don't need as much color, and we could have got the uhs in there. But
radio.
Yeah, I mean, you don't like that. The booth is so small up there that you forget that you're like that people are like listening. You just think you're kind of chatting with these guys. I'm like, right, this is actually a broadcast that's going on here. But I definitely want to get to the team store next time. We didn't get to do that this time, but they had us doing stuff nonstop. How are the interviews, by the way? I want to make sure Tyler got a little more shine on these interviews because he didn't get to do the Portland ones. What were your takeaways, Tyler?
Honestly, first off, getting to talk to Kyle Teal, the dude is intense. That was the first thing I kind of took from that entire interview. And thank you, Steve. I did appreciate you letting me cook, especially with like the Quinn Priester stuff and everything. But talking to Teal, he sounded like a guy who had already spent years in the big leagues. Like all he could kind of concentrate on was like, don't worry about the stuff at the plate. Like I just want to be the biggest asset to the pitching staff and kind of help these guys grow and get to what they become. I thought Quinn Priester, answer-wise, like gave us the most detailed stuff.
You don't want to talk yapping.
Dude,
Quinn
he
Priester.
was going.
I looked away for 2 seconds and I'm like, wait, he's still going on the same question. Like he would just go nonstop.
Yeah.
And he was like talking about, his time with the Pirates and kind of how stuff evolved and the guys he modeled his game after. But I think the one everyone's kind of going to be geared for is Christian Campbell because he didn't seem shaken up by, having arguably the biggest breakout in all of minor league baseball. He was just like, hey, man, if the Red Sox call me up to the big leagues this year, that'd be pretty fucking cool, too.
Yeah.
Isn't he just like, he's the coolest dude ever. He was super calm about stuff. Also giving us answers, though, which is nice. Because there's sometimes you get the calm guy that is just like a little too chill and everything's, kind of your basic, just here and I'll take the call up when I do. Like, Coley, credit to you. You're saying you could get called up this season. Like there's still time for you to get called up. And he's like, yeah, that'd be sick. I think most guys would be like, I'll take my time and it's okay whenever it happens. He's like, yeah, that would be awesome. Like, I would love to do that. I think he handled the Barry Bonds question well, not acting like, he acknowledged that's funny. Like being called Barry Bonds and understanding that, yeah, obviously I'm not Barry Bonds, but I'm still somebody that is. No, I know. Maybe he's probably better. That's the thing. Like, he's probably better than Barry Bonds, but really cool dude.
I'll add on the Barry Bonds stuff. We had heard it came from Roman Anthony. I don't think he actually told the story, and I'm not going to spoil it here. A good reason to listen, but to hear the actual background of how it all came together when it like first started going towards him was insanely cool because that's not out there yet.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. We're basically going to break the whole interview down before we release it. But yeah, definitely give that a listen when we drop it. But yeah, any other WooSox takeaways? I do want to get another shout out in for Corey because Corey was great, documenting everything.
Corey was unbelievable.
Another reason why we had 500 photos to pick from. But Corey is an absolute gem and has been huge for us this season. So that was big. But yeah, other WooSox takeaways.
Them playing the suspension music for Tyler's pitch was just
incredible.
Dude, I was shook.
Unbelievable. Almost, Jake pointed it out too, almost earned another suspension by throwing before the suspension music was up.
Tyler, the music was still going. What are you doing?
I fucked up a lot. I also, after I threw the ball, I started walking back towards you guys instead of going to get the ball from the catcher. I jumped Steve in line.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. They're like, Steve's up next. They give me the ball. They're like, Steve Perrault. Tyler starts walking out.
Hey.
Like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah, that's me. What up? What up? Like, here I go. But no, I mean, Tyler, you're going to do Tyler stuff. We've talked about this. Like, you do Tyler stuff. If you don't do that, then you're not who you are. Like, this is
correct.
Part of your DNA to mess up every time a new day happens. That's
it's hard because like I've been this guy my entire life that was just always fucking up. Like people knew I was going to do something awkward or weird or like just fuck up what's going on. And like to know even in the biggest moment so far in my life, I'm still doing that. It's hurtful, but it's also very on brand.
I think the biggest fuck up you've had is you didn't download the Underdog app, enter promo code Jared. I think that was probably your biggest fuck up.
By far.
100%.
Thank you for reiterating that, Coley. One thing I do think we should mention, Brian Abraham, the Red Sox director of player development, getting a chance. First off, he came up to me and I like shit bricks in the dugout where he was like, T-Dog, how are you? And Jared's always teased that, he listens to the podcast and, he keeps up with the bits that we do and stuff. So to get to talk to him, and then we got a couple moments later, in the clubhouse where he talked to everyone, that was just a wild moment to hear someone, whether it's Nesson or on Sox Prospects or whatever, kind of just chat you up for a few minutes. Super weird, but super cool.
Imagine if you just started shitting, Brett, like you started pooping
I
your
felt
pants.
it, bro. They were about to fall out.
Like, what's that smell? Oh, no, Tyler poops when he gets nervous. Like, that's just kind of part of
not,
what it
even
was.
poop. Not even actual poop either. It's
Yeah,
just,
I know. Their bricks come out of his ass. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Craig
on the ground.
Breslow apparently was there. Everyone
Yeah.
told us that, like, after the fact. That
way
would have been
after
kind
the
of cool.
fact. Not a
Yeah.
single person in line thought to tell us that.
No, it was like afterwards. We were just getting tagged in like the photos. It was like us and then Breslow. I'm like, what the hell was Breslow for all
He
this?
was
Like,
scouting our first pitch. He wanted to know.
actually, that makes perfect sense.
Can I say
Yeah.
something about our first pitches?
Yes, you can, Tyler. Go ahead.
Everybody looked extremely stiff. That was like one of the first things I noticed. And it's not to crap on any of us here, but when you look at like a baseball pitcher and you see how much their arm kind of bends and flicks, we all look like it hurts to even bend our body a little bit.
They
Yeah,
don't
I
have
mean-
fucking all their wallet, keys, and dip in their pockets when they do it. I'd like to see them try to be that level of an athlete.
We all had to piss too on top of it.
Yeah,
True.
I'll
Yeah.
just say that I didn't, but yeah, I had to pee too.
The,
I think
the head of the grounds crew told me the Mud Hens said my pitch was the worst, and I
Wow.
now hate the Toledo Mud Hens the rest of my life. I'm the only one who threw a fucking strike.
well, Jake did.
Well, Jake's was a strike like a nuclear missile hit
Yeah.
the earth.
Jake threw a major league quality strike like that. Honestly, Breslow's probably going to text you soon, Jake. I would get very ready for that.
Velo was there. It might have been a little high.
That's fine. If you get the velo, then you can get a bigger strike zone because
sure,
no one expected
absolutely.
the velo. But
Absolutely. But yeah, I'm
yeah.
trying to lob a ball, Tyler. That's not
I
the
know.
time for me to and, like loosening up. Like, wait, what do you mean?
We just
we did
look
look like major
stiff.
league pitchers. We're not.
And we didn't get to warm up. Not saying that we like had to or anything, but when you go out there and that's the first ball you've thrown in like months. I think the last technically ball I threw was the wiffle balls at the Dinger Derby in Texas. So
You didn't even play
Um,
catch at the old time baseball game?
no, I didn't. Well, because I have my glove is from like 1920, and I didn't want to
Also
break
fair.
it. Yeah, it
Also
was
fair.
one catch away from breaking. So, but no, I mean everything. Like we mentioned, everything was awesome in Worcester. I would have to imagine we're probably going back next summer after how that went. I can only hope. I mean, I think everything went as well as it possibly could. And today I was a little salty because of how great the game was. But then again, we probably would have been pissed that we missed all of that. If we were doing all the meet and greet stuff during it. So one thing I wanted to add real quick, and I was talking to some of the WooSox folks about it, their playoff format is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. We talked about like going to Vegas, a couple months ago about WooSox going to Vegas and all that. I didn't do a deep enough dive into how their playoff system works. And now when I actually found out what it is, it might be the dumbest playoff system in the history of playoffs. When you win, you quote unquote, if you're the best team, if you like win the first half of the season, you're the best team, not just in the International League East, you also have to be better than everyone else in the West Division. So that's 20 total teams. If you're in first place, kind of like the Premier League, I guess, in the first half of the season, you are guaranteed to host the series, like the championship series, that then the winner goes to Vegas. And same thing for the second half of the season. You have to be the best team out of 20 teams to advance to the playoffs. So the WooSox are getting screwed because you're getting all these guys. They had gotten hot. Obviously, they lost a couple games in a row before winning on Sunday, but they're only like a game and a half out in the Eastern Division. But it doesn't matter. They have to be the number one overall team. And I think Columbus is like 6 games ahead of them. So just kind of want to acknowledge how stupid that is, because we would probably go to Worcester for we definitely would have. If they were in the playoffs, we absolutely would have gone down
that
there and made a whole
roster?
thing out of it.
Please.
Yeah, of course. Especially with what's going on in Boston right now. Like, of course we would have gone down there. So they got to fix that, dude. It's really bad.
They might
Any
do
thoughts?
that because of call-ups. You know what I mean? Like,
Probably.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Some teams probably do get worse. Not like what's happening in Worcester isn't normal. You know what I mean? Like even the Sox prospect guys were talking about, like it's one of the best minor league teams in the history of the Red Sox. You know what I mean? Like it's that much talent there right now. So I do think it's a rare scenario. And even when you talk about not even just the young guys, like cover your ears, Tyler, but like the Jamie Westbrooks and the Bobby Dahlbecks of the world, like those are rare to have too. Like those are major league caliber players who are just quadruple A guys right now. Like it is weird, like how good that team is.
They're really good. What's also really good is Blue Moons, right?
Sure.
Sucking some of those down. I know you guys know this, but some beers can say they're brewed for baseball. Only Blue Moon is brewed by baseball. Beer and baseball just go together, and no beer goes better than the one that was literally born in a ballpark. Blue Moon was created at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. It's the natural choice for opening day and all season long. Jake, how many moons did you have after our phenomenal day in Worcester, Massachusetts?
Oh, it was quite a day in Worcester. We head back to the suite. We hit a couple of Blue Moons while we were watching the Sox game. It was a delight.
One of the coolest things, we signed a Blue Moon, Coley.
I was going to bring that up. I was going to say that. Shout out to, because I saw a couple people with Blue Moon cans in line. Didn't ask for us to sign it. One guy had the presence of mind to be like, hey, this is going to be super rare and valuable one day. So shout out to that guy whose name I forget because I learned 700 names yesterday.
Very true.
To apologize to anyone who had me sign anything. By far the worst autograph I've ever seen. I heard it from everyone.
We were going to get to it. Finish the ad. We'll get to it.
Okay, we'll talk about that afterwards. From its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander, Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale is a one-of-a-kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full-flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Blue Moon was brewed by baseball to give you a dose of nostalgia and get you excited all baseball season. Bring the ballpark to you with Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale. It's one of a kind every time. Get Blue Moon delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared, who is dead, to see your delivery options. That's get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon. Made brighter, celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. The signatures. Let's break it down.
Corey, I think he worked for Panini. He worked for one of the big sports companies. Or sports card companies. I can't remember which one. So he used to have to bring like stacks of things to players to sign so that they could go on memorabilia and cards and stuff like that. And he was just
fucking barbecue, like. I fucking show up, right? And they're like, hey, can you run to the store? Because we don't have any cheeseburger buns and we don't have any rolls for the sausages. Can you go? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I go to the fucking store, I come back with the rolls, and then like, oh wait, can you go to the store to get 2 veggie burgers? And I was like, I was just at the store, but yeah, let me go get these veggie burgers. Go to the store, come back, sitting there. Hours go by, hours. I'm starving. I'm like, man, I can't wait to eat this delicious real cheeseburger. And then I get told, cheeseburger? We made cheeseburgers last year and only 3 of them got eaten. And I was like, yeah, by me. Like, I loved it. Like, why did I just go to the store to buy 2 veggie burgers? Like, that's a special order. But like now a real normal cheeseburger is the specialty order? Not in my America. Not in my, like, the cheeseburger is the standard. It should be the veggie burger and the turkey burger. That's for like the specialty order. Now I'm going to cookouts where the actual real beef is in the minority, so much so that I don't even get a real cheeseburger. And I'm the asshole for being like, hey, I'm at the cookout. Where's the cheese? Oh, we don't have cheeseburgers. Oh, we don't have cheeseburgers. Okay.
It's ridiculous. What did you have?
That's outrageous.
Yeah, I know. I had steak tips, but it's like I can have steak tips anytime. Like cheeseburgers, like that is specifically.
That's a cookout.
Yes.
Who ate the veggie burgers then?
Everyone. Crazy. And now I'm sitting here. I'm like, oh, I'm the asshole because I wanted a cheeseburger and I can't get no cheeseburgers. None. And I went to the store Twice.
What store?
Yeah.
You know what? You know where the fuck I went? I swear to God, I went to Stop and Shop. I swear to God, I went to Stop and Shop. And I was like, where is the closest like convenience store? And my mom was like, Stop and Shop. And I was like, Stop and Shop, getting it done for everybody.
For everybody.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah,
what are we
so
talking
Tyler
about?
was signing these fucking
Yeah.
his whole first like the literal John Hancock signature. Milliken's putting his whole his date of birth, his social security, all of it. He's putting in these
Like
signatures.
a legal document.
Yeah, outrageous.
Okay,
Yeah.
I changed it halfway through though. I don't know if that was the right strategy, but I
Oh,
started
no.
making, different
You
alternatives of the
changed your
signature.
signature in the same signing?
Yeah, like I kind of
That's
switched
absurd.
up the swag of the entire thing a little
No.
bit.
Have we talked about the
can't do
games yet?
No, we
No,
were literally
which
just
game?
about
God
to get to
damn
the games.
it.
You
I
were
was
hoping that's the part you missed.
Yeah, it's like when
Okay.
you like get dismissed to go to the dentist, but then you like get brought back to school and you hope you miss the math test.
Yeah.
I
You want
missed
to come
the
back for
fun
like
part.
gym. Yeah,
I
that's
missed
true.
I missed gym and fucking
Yeah.
like health class. But we're talking about boobs
We're talking
today.
signatures. We're talking signatures. Yeah. Coley, what's
This
going on with
sucks.
your
This
signature, by the
sucks.
way?
What do you mean?
It's
Wasn't very good.
I just couldn't tell it was you. I wouldn't know
Really?
that was you. What?
It's
Like
an
I couldn't
M.
see what.
It's an M with
Okay.
dots. That's couldn't be more. I mean, the guy who again worked in the card signing business said I was the gold standard. So I don't know.
Wow.
Wait,
okay.
what?
I got to
What?
look back at the signatures. I got to look back. Tyler's definitely was all like kind of bunched together. You can obviously tell that Jared has signed signatures before.
Sure.
And I just kind of do like SAP. I just do my initials because I'm not,
Yeah,
those,
I just-
especially a thicker marker, it gets like bunched up. You don't want to do too much.
Right. I just do Mick when it's mostly the M and the K has definitely lost a lot of its curvature. A couple hundred in.
I
But
changed
definitely-
my signature in the last couple years. But it's just a small tweak that you wouldn't know. It's a small tweak.
Unless you had one of the OG's signatures.
I mean, technically, it's the third time. If you like look at my book, which just came out 15 years ago, very recently,
It's on
those
the shelves.
signatures-
It's still available.
Yep, still available.
Bestseller.
Yep. That signature is very different from
I'm sure.
the, I guess, most common signature, but then I did a little tweak. So now, like I used to do like the Jared with like a C, but now like the C swoops into an S because Carrabba starts with a C and then ends with an S. So it's kind of like a C, but then an S. It's got like a little squiggle on the end. What?
So literally what I just said I did. I do an M with a K.
Dude, whatever, bro. You know,
I
Wait,
want to
this-
add a
this- the
smiley
C-
face to mine.
That would have worked for the WooSox. I think that's where the smiley
They already did
came
it.
from.
That's stealing it. That's not good.
all right.
Not true.
I'm so mad that I didn't miss the
Your
game
favorite
part.
Worcester thing? What do you got?
Man, I thought that I didn't because we didn't like promote it that heavy.
Mm-mm.
The amount of people that showed up to that blew my fucking mind. They were like,
Right.
yeah, we want you to do like the meet and greet from innings 3 to 6. And then it ended up being innings 3 through the end of the game. And they had to cut off the line because it was around the block. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I thought they were joking because we couldn't see it. Like they put us in
Couldn't
a
see it.
diner. Yeah, I had no clue.
Dastardly how you couldn't see it.
Yeah, could not see it. The ballpark was beautiful. The people were super nice. Shout out to Taylor and Ashley and Emerson for
Mhm.
taking us around, making sure that everything was super easy for us the whole day. I know that Taylor and Ashley, big Section 10 fans. I don't know that Emerson was, but hopefully she is now. She was super helpful all day as well. Got to see Bob. Got to see...
That was awesome.
For me, yep.
Yeah,
got
for
to
both of us.
see Jamie Westbrook. The interviews were fun. When are we gonna start dropping those?
Yeah, I think we're gonna edit them this week. Probably roll them out same way as we did with Portland, like
Cool.
one every couple days.
Cool. I'm happy with that. Yeah, the guys are great. Christian Campbell was like the most humble, best player to ever live ever. I think
Chillest dude ever, and apparently he's going to be
Super
better than Barry Bonds. So
Yeah.
there you go.
He was
Pretty
great. I was explaining afterwards that Christian Campbell, there's certain dudes where they have like a playbook of humble things, like a playbook of humble lines to say that are like scripted. He just is humble. Like, I don't think that he knows a different lifestyle. Maybe once he gets to that superstar level, like I'm doing this at the MLB level and I'm still just as good, then I could see Campbell. Maybe, I don't even know. Like, he just seems wired different, dude. Like, I don't know. It's something about him that's like it's almost like
he's polished, but it's not like someone trained him. It's like he's polished just because he's polished.
He's very comfortable in his own skin, which is why I think he's had this much success. Like, he knows who he is, and he just goes
he's
out
the
there and does
opposite
it.
of Mookie. Like, Mookie was a fraud, and he just like nothing he said was authentic. I'm just saying, like Mookie like made shit up. Like, he was not authentic in what he would say shit, and you're like, you don't mean that. Christian Campbell.
I think Mookie
super
was
authentic.
Just blasted. I think that's all.
Maybe he's also
the Rock.
Mookie didn't want to. I mean, Mookie didn't want to do a lot of stuff here.
No,
and I think that was by design. That was pre-contract, and then he signs a contract, went to a more chill place, and now he's got his own show.
Oh, yeah, super chill Los Angeles.
Mookie Pod.
It is.
A little chiller
it's like
than
what
Boston.
It's known for.
Yeah,
For sure. What it's like number
whatever,
one
dude.
for.
Whatever, dude. Whatever, dude.
LA, dude.
I will say Jared was in like a trance when he was watching Christian Campbell take swings when we were going through the clubhouse. Like, for a second, you got stuck there, and it was just like a couple people
they were
just
like,
wanted
let's
to
go.
stop and watch.
And then we want to show you down here, and I was just like watching him. I mean, because it was cool. Like, we were at the other end of the cage, so we were like behind the pitcher, so we had a really cool perspective. It was like, yeah, I can watch Christian Campbell hit rockets into my face with no fear of dying. Like, that's how many people can say that they can do that? Like, not many. So yeah, I was pretty locked in on that. But yeah, I mean, the ballpark was cool. Facility was great. The clubhouse way better than Fenway.
Super nice.
Yeah.
Yep. The facility, I mean, it's larger than I think Fenway as far as like the places that you can't go as a fan. Like that area is bigger than Fenway.
Isn't it weird on that point? Isn't it weird that it's like one of our team, the WooSox are one of our teams, and you're at a new ballpark where you can walk around and have different places to eat and drink, and you don't feel like you're bumping into everybody.
Right.
It was a breath of fresh air to have the space. I really want to go back as just kind of a fan, and
well, we're gonna do that. Let's go back for the playoffs. The one reason why when people are asking me like, oh, like, what are your favorite ballparks? I always say Coors because why? What?
No,
what?
nothing.
Are they not making the playoffs?
Probably not. It's all sorry that I have to be the one to tell you this.
There's no chance or what?
There's like a no chance, man.
We already did the ad read. I think you're going to default go into as well. Yeah. No, listen. Power out. You got to serve one. It happens. It happens to the best of us. But you're a man of honor. You're a man of integrity. And you own it. You're the worst day ever. Everyone hates you. The world itself hates you. God has turned his back on you. And it happens to the best of us. You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, you get back out there. Get back on the hill. Do it over and over and over again. Until one day you're in the box either way.
I'm kind of pissed now because this means I'm definitely catching one. That's just that's how it goes. So, Jerry?
That cookout, man. I swear to God, like, everything else was great. Good people, great host, but not having cheeseburgers. It'd be one thing if you weren't doing burgers, but to just have turkey burgers and veggie burgers and no real burgers is fucking crazy.
Were there hot dogs there?
No.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah, I know, dude.
With no burgers and dogs?
I wouldn't have had a hot dog anyway. There were sausages and steak tips. But you can't do veggie and turkey, but no real beef burgers. You can't do that. And I'll die on that hill. I'd argue
they can only be invited to that if the burger's already there.
Yeah, I will die on that hill. And then my power went out, and then my power went out again. They just replaced the power line. That's why, like, I went to start the show earlier. Half the power in my house went out. half the power in the house was on, half of it was off. The part that I needed was off. The part where the fucking internet was connected to and the lights in the studio off. But if you wanted to see in the hallway, you were all set. You were fucking, you had so much light, so much power.
That's bad.
And then we called the people and we were like, hey, the power's back on. Because we originally called like the electric company. We were like, hey, the power's off. Can you send someone out? And they were like, we sent them. And then I called them back. I was like, hey, the power's back on. Can you not send them anymore? And we're like, we're going to send them anyway. And I was like, cool. And then just as we did the intro, or before we even started the show, they were like, yeah, the power guy's here. And I went to the door and he was like, hey, I'm going to fucking take apart your power line. I was like, awesome. This is great timing. And then about
for us, it was comedically couldn't have been better timing.
Yeah. So like 90 seconds into the show, he just cuts out the power in my house. But hey, we're having a day. We're having a day. And and the best part about it, we still haven't even gotten into the good stuff. That fucking awesome series against the Detroit Tigers. We saved all that.
What was your favorite part of the series?
Honestly, like getting to like watch Scooble pitch, but having to fucking go back and watch it because we were at the WooSox, but like getting to like really lock into a Scooble start was cool, even though he just shoved it up our ass. But we knew that was going to happen. Like that was
right.
It's a lefty. B, it's the best pitcher in baseball, or at least in the American League. So we knew that was going to be right up our dicks. But
ooh, ouch.
Yeah,
who's been better than him?
Yeah, no part of that series really made me feel super great. You know, like
no,
the win sucked.
Yeah, the win wasn't fun either. Yeah, yeah, it was It was a hard fought battle where you're like, man, like good teams win games like that. That's why it was, I guess, interesting or of note where, you know, you battle back, you hit back-to-back home runs in extra innings. It's like, oh man, if you need a hit, you dial up Rafaela, bang, home run. Jaron Duran having an MVP season. And so here's the take that I've been sitting on. I want to know you guys, probably more so Coley and Steve than Tyler, who only like, his memory goes back to like 5 years ago. So like when I think of seasons like 2010, that's the year that Dustin Pedroia broke his foot to me. It's like, yeah, they finished in third place, but like having Facebook memories and being able to read the shit that I was posting in real time during that season, like I believed that team could do something. Like I didn't give up on that team, but now we're 14 years removed from that season, and it's the year that they didn't make the playoffs. That's the year that Dustin Pedroia broke his foot. The Red Sox didn't make the playoffs. 2011, that's the year that Jacoby Ellsbury should have won the MVP, finished runner-up, and the Red Sox didn't make the playoffs, and it was the September collapse. Like, there's always like that, like, you know, oh, that's the year that happened, and that's what we remember that year for. I think that 10 years from now, we'll look back on 2024 and be like, oh my God, like that's the year that Jaron Duran was like one of the best players in baseball and the Red Sox didn't make the playoffs. Like, I think that like that's what we'll remember this year for. I don't know that there'll be much more 10 years removed from this year, but we look back and like there's that one, I guess, marker, that landmark where like, oh yeah, what was the year that Jaron Duran had like a fucking 10 wins above replacement, the Red Sox didn't make the playoffs? Oh, that was 2024. Like, I feel like that's what this year is going to end up being. And
I don't even know, like, what else is in the running, right?
There's not. Because you have the All-Star game moment that, like, kind of stands out in all of it as well. Like, is that midpoint where all of baseball was looking at him, but he's second in baseball in WAR right now. The only guy ahead of him is Aaron Judge.
Yeah, one of the top things I'm focused on for the rest of the season, I mean, we'll get into this. Maybe we don't get into this Tigers series. That would actually be sick. I know people would be upset. Is Jaron Duran's 200 hit watch. He's got a chance at 200 hits.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's absurd. He's on pace for 197. What's the actual total right now? I think it's in the 160s. But he's on pace for 197 hits, and he'd be the fifth Red Sox player this century to have a 200-hit season. You mentioned Jacoby in 2011. Egon had one more hit than Jacoby that year. He had 213, which led the majors. That 2011's obviously, we're not just going to remember certain seasons. You'll remember the collapse as well. But
yeah, Eric Bedard.
Yeah. Dustin
Eric
Pedroia.
Bedard, Bruce Chen season.
Exactly. Who could forget that? Dustin Pedroia in 2008 and then Rafi in 2019. But yeah, what Jarren Duran is doing, and it's not just that he's been doing it, all season. It's that he's doing it when the team slumps too. Like he doesn't slump when the team slumps. So when the rest of the team sucks, he reminds you, hey, I am still the best player on the team. Like, understandable, Rafael Devers has put out a, once again, 3,000 year. That's what it's going to end up being. But yeah, we'll look back at this as the Jarren Duran year, and I don't think there's even a close second, third, or fourth.
I've put out like the stats every couple of weeks or so on Ellsbury 2011 versus Jarren Duran, and it's scary how similar the numbers actually are. They've basically been the same hitter so far. A couple days back, right before the series started, Duran had a 139 weighted runs created plus. Ellsbury was at 140. Both had, over 30 steals. Ellsbury was up to 23 homers. Duran's up to 21. But Duran just has more doubles and more triples, which makes it more crazy.
Yeah. And he has stiffer competition for MVP. Like Verlander as a pitcher won in 2011. Like Jacoby Ellsbury was the best
That's
position
still
player.
the dumbest. I hate that.
I agree. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys disagree? Like, I feel like
No.
it's a positive and a negative take at the same time. It's, yes, 10 years from now, I'll be like, holy fuck, that season that Duran had was unbelievable. But it ultimately, more than likely now at this point, will be in a year where they don't make the playoffs. And I don't know, outside of like, I think recency, we can say, oh yeah, that's the year that AC signed his extension. But do you remember which year Terry Francona signed his extensions in?
No.
No. So it's like, that's not going to stand out.
I think right now it's obviously Duran. I think depending on what some of these other young guys do long term, it could be remembered as like that was Rafaela's rookie season. If he becomes a tremendous cornerstone, but that can only happen in hindsight, like not in real time.
Yeah. I mean, like even, some people will look back and they don't even remember that Jackie Bradley Jr. made the opening day roster in 2013. They're like, no, his rookie year is 14. It's like he
Catch in
made
New York.
Yeah. It's like, who knows how it's remembered, but I mean, like, it's like, all right, throw a random year, 2009. To me, that's the year that they backed into the playoffs and got swept by the Angels.
Right.
Like, I don't remember a fucking thing about that regular
Is that Jason
season.
Bay? Was Bay in 09?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think he hit 36 home runs or something like that.
It was a crazy, I saw that stat line compared to someone else recently. Like that, I hated him so much because he wasn't Manny Ramirez, not his fault, but I did hate him for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I like seeing his numbers now. It's like, oh, if that guy were a free agent today, he'd get $400 million.
Yeah.
Isn't
Jason
it
Bay.
cool, by the way, just seeing Manny still hitting bombs?
Dude,
like,
crazy.
I still don't know. Like, I think MLB's tried to promote this home run derby X thing, and I still have no freaking clue what it is or when it happens or why it matters. But getting to see Manny still hit bombs was delightful.
Him and Pedro Alvarez back to back, it broke my brain for a second. I was like, what the hell
Dude,
is going
I did a
on
double
here?
take at the clip. I'm like, am I looking at this right? Is this from 10 years ago?
And he's
looks
still hitting
similar.
rockets.
I
Rockets.
know.
He can inject
Absolute
anything he wants
bombs.
into himself now.
Like Manny had.
Whoa. The
Yeah,
fuck
what-
was that?
What did you just say?
There's no
The f-
penalty anymore.
What did you just say?
Nothing. I didn't say anything that wasn't
What did
true.
you say?
He said you can inject anything into himself right now.
Why would you say that?
That was crazy.
According to Major League Baseball, that was something that happened during his Major League career. You can't suspend me for the truth.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Since when?
Always.
This is a normal
Yeah.
place. I love Manny Ramirez.
Okay,
Not
then
to
watch
crap
what you
on the
say.
guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it,
Substances found their way into his body at unfortunate times. Fortunate for us.
Yeah, someone
He
forced
tested
it in his
positive
system.
for a women's fertility drug.
dude.
You
Right.
fucking asshole.
I
That's
guess.
crazy.
Yeah.
Jason Bay in 09 put up a 921 OPS. He had 36 home runs, 119 RBI. He just absolutely beat the dog shit out of the ball. And I was like, get this fucking guy out of here.
Even
Why
in
did he like
08
Jason
when he
Bay?
came
That was-
over.
Because he
That's
wasn't
weird.
Manny. He was the direct replacement for Manny. It was hard for me to
Yeah,
like
but he
him.
was like his numbers were awesome.
His numbers
Oh, he
were great,
was
but like you
filthy.
said, that season also sucked. So that
Yeah.
again, I'm not saying I was rational about it. Like I just said, if this guy were a free agent this upcoming offseason, I'd be like, you gotta give this guy the house. You give him everything.
If they had extended him, then I totally get it because he was dog
Oh, he
shit
was
after he
terrible.
left the Red Sox. But that 08, like when he replaced Manny, and then his playoff numbers in 08 were
Yeah, they were crazy.
unbelievably good. And then he had a great year in 09, and then he was gone and he sucked for other teams. I don't care. But
No, not at all.
I don't think there's ever been a player that looks more like the video game creator player before you make the changes than Jason Bay. Like
Yeah.
he
Very
is
plain.
Lyle
100%.
Overbay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
Ooh.
one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The 44 went so hard, though. Oh, my God. That is a great number.
44.
Orlando
44 is
Cabrera.
the number that would be like, hey, you're not going to be here for long, so have 44. That was
44 is when someone get called. Well, did Cabrera have 44?
Orlando
Cabrera,
Cabrera, Gabe Kapler.
Gabe changed though, right? Didn't he do 29 or something?
He was 19 and 04.
Or maybe
Yeah.
19. Yeah, yeah.
To be
Yeah.
fair, Rich Hill's wearing 44 right now.
Yep, sure is.
Yep, they're like, this
Not going
guy's
to be here long.
not going to be on this earth long. Yeah.
Whoa. How is that not suspension worthy?
Because that's
Well,
funny.
He's
Oh, we're
44.
wishing death on him.
That no
He's
one
just
is wishing
naturally
death.
gonna-
We're
he's
just saying
naturally gonna
he's
die.
Old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other number 44 is Isaiah Campbell, Kyle Bearclaw, Brandon Workman, Brad Peacock, Jake Peavy.
Oh, Peavy, there you go.
And 2013 JBJ.
JBJ wore 44. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That's crazy. Yeah, I actually, when I was in high school, I feel like I've told this story before, but that's how I remembered the amendments. Like because Gabe Kapler wore number 19 and all the girls liked him. And I was like, the 19th Amendment, that's women's suffrage. And and then the 18th Amendment, Johnny Damon wore 18. As we all know, he fucking loves to booze, and that was prohibition.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yep.
That's unbelievable.
That's how I remember the
These
amendments.
broads love Gabe Kapler, dude. I
They
gotta
do.
remember
Am I
women's
wrong?
suffrage.
Am I wrong?
Women's
Gotta remember.
suffrage.
He's still
'Cause
making
they
thirst
are
traps,
Yeah.
baby.
googly over Gabe Kapler.
That was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Am I wrong?
No.
No, I'm sure it works.
It's just very
And you,
funny.
you only got those two right. Like, that was it. There were no other numbers.
Yeah.
I got 19 and 18 right. Let
Yeah,
me
like
tell you
the
that.
24th Amendment for Manny wasn't like, oh, the right for men to get pregnant. You know, it's just
right
not,
for like hitting bombs. Like, that didn't
Yeah.
exist.
like, I would remember that one, but no. I mean, let's see. List of amendments to the Constitution.
Didn't Pat end up doing the best amendments?
Yeah, and he picked all the wrong ones. It was a
Yeah,
very
he did.
problematic segment. like he like left off like freeing the slaves and stuff like that. You can't do that. Amendment number 1: Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech. I mean, they gotta put this in modern terms. Like freedom of speech, right? Amendment number 2: a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I mean, who was wearing number 2? That's like, who was wearing number 2 back then? Nobody.
No.
On the 04 team?
You had to
This is
wait
like
for
when I was
COVID.
a sophomore in high school. Amendment number 3: no soldier shall in time of peace be quartered. Oh, this was like soldiers could just like walk into your house and be like, I live here now.
I live here, yeah.
Pat picked
Yeah.
this one, did he not?
Yes, he did.
That was like a major selling point for him.
He thought it was going to be like pro troops, and we were like, "You're such an idiot."
Yeah. I mean, number 3 would have been Pokey Reese, and I would have let Pokey Reese stay at my house whenever he wanted. So that would have been a way that I would remember that. Be like, oh yeah, that's, the soldiers just taking over your house.
Was it? That
yeah.
was Millsy. Millsy was wearing number 2.
Pap.
Millsy.
That was pre-pap though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
pre-Petey.
Petey. Actually, that was the year that he got drafted.
Oh, yeah.
People forget that. Yeah, Red Sox lose.
The series, and that'll do it for the series. Talk.
I had Tanner Houck
Yeah,
thoughts.
people get so mad. They're like, oh. What'd you think of Cooper Criswell today, you fucking asshole?
Yeah,
I said I had Tanner
piece of
Houck
shit. What a perfect start for Cooper Criswell to do this right after he craps all over the guy.
Crapped on him. Like, took a heaping crap on the guy. Guy damn near throws a perfect game. Crazy. Shout out to Cooper Criswell. Because I already saw, I mean, like, it's almost like the fucking people whining about shit that didn't even happen. They won't criticize Cora. I know they won't. I know they won't, dude. They're not going to say anything about Cora. Yeah. Let the guy with the perfect game continue to pitch. I feel like,
I know.
Does anyone here disagree with the take?
Nope.
Tyler?
No, I don't think it was the right call. I think for Cora to say we had this decision before the game and you're like, hey, this pocket in the 5th inning, you know, Rich Hill pitched last night. We're going to bring him back in today and hope for the best and hope things go somewhere. Maybe if you had a left-handed reliever you could depend on, you could at least somewhat comprehend it, but he was dealing. I don't understand why you don't adjust in game. Isn't that the thing we give Alex Cora credit for all the time?
Jared?
Devil's advocate here. The final series of the season in 2021, I believe Tanner Houck had a no-hitter going, and he got pulled, and the Red Sox ended up winning the game, and no one really said anything about that. So it's kind of just like, it didn't work. You had a plan, it didn't work. Sometimes you have a plan, it works, and you look like a genius. Oh, I pulled Tanner Houck, he had a no-hitter, but we still won the game. This one, and I'm not defending the decision. Like, I would not have done it. Which is why I think, you know, Cora gets so much love all the time, is because he has feel. He's a manager that has feel. And I think what we hate in other managers, or just like how the game has evolved over the years, is here is like basically the script. We talked about this before the game. Cooper Criswell goes 4, then we go to Rich Hill. Like, that's the plan. Okay, well, what if Cooper Criswell has a perfect game? Can we change the plan? Like, can we manage on the fly? That's what Cora usually gets love for, is he's a good, like, okay, I understand we had a plan. I understand that, like, what the numbers say, but can I go with my gut here and make a decision based on that? That's why he gets love. Today, it's, I don't know how many of you felt it, but in the moment, I'm like, like, why?
Well,
It's not like if Cooper Criswell was someone that only went 4 innings or was like a 3-inning 4, like if Rich Hill started this game and had 4 perfect innings, then it's like, all right, cool. Like, he's not like stretched out. Like, he's not like a 5th, 6th inning type guy. Cooper Criswell very recently pitched 6 innings. Did he not?
He's thrown 70 and 80 pitches recently.
Okay, so then, yeah, that's where, yeah, I don't agree with Cora's decision. I don't.
The other thing that's weird to me is, like, you come into this inning, you have Kerry Carpenter and Jace Young, and we know Kerry Carpenter tees off on righties. We get it. Spencer Torkelson was the only righty. He was a 3rd hitter. Then it was Zach McKinstry and Trey Sweeney. So, all right, 4 out of the 5 guys were lefties. Criswell has allowed a 726 OPS to lefties this year. It's 822 to righties. So if you're talking matchup-wise here, yes, you got to get by Carpenter, and I understand we're all scared of him. You could go the Coley route. Just don't pitch to him. You know, stay away from him. Don't let him kill you and keep walking that
anyways.
out. Yeah, exactly. And it was a long acid bat. You know, Rich Hill battled out there. If Rich Hill is your answer after he threw the night before, is that really better than, like, Rich Hill barely even had time to get ready for the season. He made 1 rehab appearance and was back to the big leagues. It's not like this guy is, you know, fully warmed up and ready to go back-to-back days without thinking. Why not let Criswell cook, especially when he's changed his arsenal? He's throwing a new slider the last 2 starts. So if you think maybe something's clicking there, let's see how far it takes you.
Well, it's not like I wouldn't have trusted Rich Hill coming in after like 6 innings from Cooper Criswell of maybe 1 hit ball or 1 run ball.
Or if he gets into trouble.
That's totally fine. Yeah, you could have had him ready to come in. That's the thing. It hit me watching the Cora post game where he's been managing this team for 6 seasons now. How many times have we been waiting for the post game to see, like, what's he going to say about this one? Not many. I can't remember a ton of them. Like, this is one that kind of sticks out among the group, and he didn't really want to talk about it, honestly. And, you know, this is a not to crap on the guy situation. Cora knew he made the wrong decision. Like, he very clearly knew This was not the right call to make. It was what they had planned before the game. That does not mean it was the right thing to do during the game. Pete Abe tried to ask him like 3 different versions of the same
Showed
question.
up late, I think, to the conference. Like, Cora was like, "What are you doing?"
We know AC pretty well, and we watch enough of these that you know his body language. You know if he's giving you some lax answers or if he doesn't really want to talk about something. He didn't really want to talk about this. And I knew Pete had already asked a couple, and AC was like, "Yeah, but that's it was a plan, so we had to." And he looked away from him like, "Pete, if you ask him one more time, he's gonna like chew." Yeah, and that's what he did. He just said like, "Pete, you like, come on. I told you that's what our plan was, and we didn't end up doing it. It didn't end up working out, the whole thing. But the thing I'm stuck on is that the Sox scored 1 run, so I'm not gonna like lose my mind over the Criswell thing when they can't score more than 1 run. They've won 1 game all season, 1-0, and that was against the A's 5 months ago. So if the offense is going to suck like this, like it's hard to really lose sleep over the Cooper thing.
You know what's kind of crazy about the offense too, as much as people have talked about the pitching and where it's been? The last 15 days, the Red Sox ranked 25th in OPS and 27th in runs scored. They're 14th in ERA over that stretch. Just think over the Blue Jays and Tigers series. How many games were there where the pitching really screwed you and cost you the game? 4 out of 5 were good in the Blue Jays series, and say what you will, I think every game this
specifically
series.
the starts, because like the bullpen has screwed you obviously a handful of times, but the starters have been mainly really good for the last at least week and a half, 2 weeks.
But even run
when
totals,
the bullpen screwed you, though, it's been in lows. Like you've not put up big numbers in those games
exactly.
either. Yeah. So that's where it's like it's hard to shit on the offense too much, since the only reason they're really in this position to be somewhat near the playoffs for the entire season, but they did die at the worst possible moment.
How many teams have a worse record than the Red Sox in the second half?
I mean,
5.
2 or 3, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say 5, 6.
Do you have the number?
Mm-hmm.
3.
Call it
5.
Jake?
Unless it's just
4.
the White Sox. I hope it's not just the White Sox.
What did you say, Jake?
4.
Tyler?
I'll go with 4 as well.
It's 3.
3. Okay.
The Angels, the Pirates, and the White Sox. And you have the same record as the Colorado Rockies. You are 17-24 in the second half.
I like going back to what you guys were saying about, have Rich Hill warming if Criswell gets in trouble. I have crapped on them repeatedly over the years for not giving guys clean innings to work with. So if this was the plan, I don't know that having him ready, I can criticize that. You know what I mean?
I mean, of course, Rich would have been fine. He's like, I'll take any innings you give me. If there's like 1.5 outs, I will come into that game. But yeah, no, it is the right mentality to give clean innings, especially to a guy that hasn't pitched that much, of course.
I don't know. I think even with a guy like Rich Hill, if there's someone you don't have to worry about going in there and not being able to handle it mentally, that they're going to get
it's not a handle it mentally thing. It's just like why give a team guys on second and third, and why bring in a bullpen guy even if he gets pop fly outs? Like you're conceding runs, not pop flies, but out fly balls.
Yeah, I think in that spot, it's like, all right, well, you knew it was 2 lefties to start. So if you feel like, he tried to go after Kerry Carpenter and it didn't work, and it was like, all right, now you need to make a change. I just felt like Criswell in that point, he was perfect. That's how you know it was before the game, even beforehand. Anybody could have told you before Cora said it. It's like, well, obviously Criswell pitched as good as you possibly could have pitched for 4 innings, and you had made that decision. I also thought it was weird that Cora said after the game, he didn't tell Criswell he was coming out right after. It was after the Red Sox put a run on the board. So once Duran hit that single, Cora came and then told Criswell, hey, you're done for the day.
How does that make any sense?
I don't know. And that just stuck out to me. It was like Criswell mentioned it. He was like, Cora didn't say anything to me when I got on the dugout. After Duran scored, then he came to me and said, we're done.
See, that's even weirder. I don't fully understand that. If you're going to have the plan, then the pitcher should know the plan as well.
I don't know if they were
just
like,
seems like a mess up today, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know if he looked at it, he was like, oh shit, we're ahead. Like we need to jump on this and be aggressive and we can't let it bleed, but I don't know.
I think it makes sense. in a tie game, you're going to let the guy go. I think that does make sense. I think 1 run isn't a huge enough difference.
That's where
to
I'm
me
at.
is where
It's
it
like, does that
stands out.
make enough of a difference?
Yeah, you go put 4 or 5 on the board. Now I
Okay.
see it, but even then, even if you put up too
Let 'em
many
go.
runs, why do the change? Yeah,
I know. I mean, the way this is mainly gone with the Red Sox pitching staff, it's like if anyone's feeling it, I'm letting them keep the ball. I don't care if it's a starter or reliever. At this point, we got openers. We don't even. There's a bunch of undefined roles, honestly, for who can pitch for you. So I don't know. It felt like the wrong move. I think when everyone knows it's the wrong move, it's pretty clearly the wrong move. Like the radio call did a great job with it. I think Will and Lou were all over it. Will is great with that too, because he prefaces things great. He's like, I just don't know. I don't know the logic here, but he always gives it. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. And then the home swing and a drive, left field, that's gone. And you just don't understand the move. I don't know what he's doing. Why would you do that? Lou made a good point, too, of when you're making a decision that makes the entire opposing lineup go like, thank God, probably the wrong move. Like them seeing a new pitcher and getting to mentally be like, we're starting the game over again. That's not great.
It also, I think,
also will say, like, it's not like it was the wrong move. Everyone said that, but Cora has been managing this team like it's a playoff game all season. Like every move's not going to work. That's just unrealistic. He was wrong. Like it happens.
I think where it also compounded, where people were already kind of hot on Cora. You know, the Yoshida stuff has been very present, but the Brennan Bernardino stuff from the first game, him going in for the second inning and it ultimately leading to you have to playing, another inning. And I think you can understand where he was coming from, right? Like the idea was, hey, try to get 6 outs. But I think anyone who's watched Brennan Bernardino for the last couple months, and yeah, I know he had been decent for 2 weeks beforehand. The FIP was still over 4. To go out there and then you ultimately have to burn all these arms again and you get caught was not the best. Like Justin Slayton, it felt like that was the pocket you used him in earlier this year. It was like, hey, we're not going to use Chris Martin up 4, but Justin Slayton, you go in there, make sure it's still a 4-0 game and we'll be good. Then all of a sudden you get into a spot where you're playing in the 10th inning.
Also, Zach Kelly, I'm looking at the numbers here. Since July 1st, leading the Red Sox in home runs allowed per 9 innings at 3.48. Not great. The ERA is 5.23. The FIP is 7.34. The WHIP is 1.45. And he's logged probably the most appearances. Oh, no, Bernardino. Yeah. But, yeah, okay. So it's Bernardino, 23 appearances. Zach Kelly, 21 appearances. But, yeah, both of those guys, if those are your top 2 most leaned on relievers, let me grab the sample for you. Bernardino and Zach Kelly since July 1st.
Oh, this has to be bad.
It is bad, Steven. It is 38 1/3 innings, 49 hits, 29 earned runs. It's a 6.81 ERA, a 7.06 FIP, a 1.64 WHIP, and a 3.29 home runs per 9 innings. Over 44 combined appearances. Just not good.
Bernie's been having a tough go. I was looking at the first half versus second, or even just April, May, and June. He had a 1.20. Last 2 months, 8.66 ERA, 3.33 batting average against, and a 10.20 OPS against. Which sucks because I want him to be good so bad. Like he's the exact guy you want to have that 1.20 ERA and be like, let's go. Bernie's our guy.
Awesome
you
guy.
Trust him. And now, obviously the bomb in game 1 and you just can't trust him anymore, which sucks.
He's back on the roster because of injuries. Like that's ultimately what it
know.
is. When they optioned him, that was the most telling thing. And I think that's what makes him being pushed for 6 outs in the first game stick out so much. But I think they also thought Cam Boozer was going to be back starting probably today, but he didn't bounce back well from his last rehab outing.
Bernardino striking out Yordan Alvarez on 3 straight pitches might be the most improbable thing that happened in all of baseball this year.
This century, I don't know.
Yeah,
really.
like that's the 04 Sox number 2, Bernardino v. Alvarez number 1.
For some godforsaken reason, I felt good about that at bat. I don't know why, but all the other ones basically for Bernardino in the second half have gone poorly.
Terribly. And when you're at home too, you can do, when you see Bernardino come in, you can open your Underdog Fantasy app, find who's about to come up, just hammer their higher after you enter promo code Jared. That's probably the smartest thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sit here and say that because I'm going to gauge where you guys are at. I'm not going to say the season. What happened, Tyler?
Nothing.
That was weird. I don't know.
I
think we almost got hacked for a second.
Jeremy hopped in for a second.
Oh,
it's all good.
Yeah, I don't want to say that the season's over. I know a lot of people probably jump to that. I mean, every time they fucking lose, people, it's like not to go back to a Titanic reference for every single podcast, but there were points during the sinking where people just made the determination, like, now I'm gonna jump now. The ship was sinking for quite some time, but people jumped off the sinking ship at different points. People have jumped. Some people have come back on. I don't know how you guys feel about those people, but I'm still climbing to different parts of the ship, hanging on to it, because I don't think we're underwater completely yet. I think I'm definitely at the point where I sure as shit recognize that there is damage to the hull.
Your shoes are soggy right now.
Yeah,
there's a lot of damage.
There's a lot of damage. Like, I recognize this thing is going down, but I'm not jumping off yet. Like, I still think that there's a chance. I have not jumped into the icy waters of the what does Tyler call it?
AO.
Yeah, the AO.
The AO. What's the boat that they were trying to signal to?
The Carpathia is what saved them.
Okay, but they were trying to get a boat that wasn't paying attention to the dipsy-doos, and that's why they didn't.
I actually just learned.
I don't think they can chirp other boats for not paying attention. You know.
Yeah,
no,
like,
that's true.
Oh, there's the
That's boat
unsinkable
safety.
Titanic. Fuck you.
Yeah, we're not coming to save you. But my point being, like, I'm at the point where I think there is a chance that boat's going to get us. Like, I still think there's a chance, even though it's highly probable we're going to be at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. We're definitely sinking. The band's playing right now.
I think you're hanging off the ledge right now. I think we set that line, right? It's how many weeks do you have left in the season? There's 4 weeks left. You're now 4.5 games back.
Set that line. You miss an all-time moment, Jared.
Hanging off the ledge?
No, the Mark thing you were just
that's the Tom
about.
Karen line we've been talking about on here the last couple
You
episodes.
said we set that line, but you missed it. He called Scott Zolak his intern earlier.
No, I did not.
unbelievable.
I said I do radio. The guy I do radio with,
it's the guy who helps me on the radio. I think that was the.
No, I said the guy I do radio with. I know what I said.
It's the fucking intern who gets my Starbucks. Yeah,
That's gonna get back to Zoe.
It's the guy I work with.
If it doesn't, I'll see to that.
See, you guys, for the younger generation who don't listen to sports radio as much, I don't know if they immediately connect that to Zoe.
So you're saying
Zoe have this team?
This is a baseball podcast.
Tyler Milliken, direct quote, just said, "I'm bigger than the
No,
sports
this is a baseball podcast. It's different audiences.
It definitely is a baseball podcast.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, did he or did he not throw a pitch for the WooSox just like
He
we
did,
did?
and he nailed it.
Interesting. So the baseball community does know him.
Yeah, and he got the opportunity before you did.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Zolak, much bigger than Tyler Milliken and much more successful.
Oh, 10 times over.
Always will be.
Yeah. Like multiple fields.
In every facet of life, I'd say.
Yeah.
In this scenario, it feels like Duran is Jack, right? Like, he's definitely hanging on for the long. He's playing the hardest. He's hanging on for the longest. Like, he is Leo.
He's motivated. Yes. Yep. He's trying to save other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But maybe he's a little bit more like Cal, because the way that he like yells shit at fans, it's kind of like Cal pulling out the gun, which was just like way over the line.
It was very aggressive.
That's not helping the situation at all, pal.
No.
Like, I don't know that we need you getting off here for 2 games when we're fighting for our lives.
Right.
No, but Cal sneaks on a boat. Like, Jaren's not sneaking on a boat and getting out of there. Like, he is going to be on the top going down.
No, you're right. But I mean, firing off 6 rounds into a ship just because
it was such an unnecessary move.
Oh man, all you had to do was scurry them down to 3rd class and they were gonna die, and you didn't have to have that on your conscience that you actually, like, you know, plastered their fucking brains all over the grand staircase there. You didn't have to do that, but
Who's the dude that just like blows his head off? Like
that
who
was,
would?
Officer Murdoch.
No, I'm saying like on this team.
Oh,
That was Breslow at the
James
deadline.
Paxton. He couldn't have got out of here fast enough.
He's like, I'm not doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just
He
like,
saw the iceberg and he's like, okay.
yeah. Yeah. James Paxton was definitely Officer Murdoch. Breslow's Mr. Andrews. He's like, I built this thing. I'm going down with it.
Yeah. Well, you know, Breslow was watching our first pitches, right?
Yeah, he was in Worcester.
Yeah, he's
that was
already
him getting away
contacted
from
Jake.
Fenway. Yeah. Jake, oh, you know what? I fucking, yeah, put your fucking hands up, Tyler.
Me?
Yeah, you motherfucker. We did an article, we did an interview for an article, and we all got interviewed. And in the article, Tyler says, yeah, Jared's first pitch was by far the worst. I'm the only one that looked like I've ever thrown a baseball before.
All right, calm down.
Out of
Yeah,
all
we don't
the
go
years-
that far.
No, it just wasn't your best location.
I
Let's
will
not go
that
that far.
Out of all the first pitches, I'm the only one who looks like I've actually thrown a
Jake
baseball.
threw it
off the
100 miles an hour. What are you
we
talking
all look
about?
stiff.
And mechanically, I'm the only one who looks like I've thrown a
You
baseball
lobbed
before.
it in too. Come on now.
I
Come on.
lobbed it, but mechanically,
I
I
Don't
stand
know about
by
that one.
Tyler, that's a
Tyler said-
crazy line to say to a newspaper guy.
Yeah, Tyler's like, yeah, Jared had by far
How did
the
you think
worst
that
one.
wouldn't come back to bite you? Like, there's no way
You
that.
fucking kidding me?
That's very funny.
To be very fair here, I thought it was, looking at some of your other pitches, this was the most off-target one.
I mean, yeah, like I lobbed it, but out of everyone,
Yes.
if we're just looking at the mechanics off the mound,
Coley threw a strike.
That's
He's
fine.
not talking about where the ball
We're talking
landed.
about
Yeah,
mechanically.
the release. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm talking about where the ball landed.
I'm talking about you getting suspended for talking shit to the media. This is like
Yeah, you went outside the clubhouse.
yeah. Yeah, you handle that in the clubhouse. You say that on the podcast. You don't say that to the press.
He's leaking stuff to the press.
Me and
That's what
Tommy
you're
were
doing.
having a
Leaking
nice
stuff to the
conversation.
press. Yeah. You slandered me to the what does Ted Williams call them? The Knights of the something? What do you call them?
Yeah, I can't remember. What
The Knights of the-
ass phrase.
What
Columbus?
did Ted Williams call the media? It was like the Knights of the fucking keyboard or something.
What'd you say about
They
me?
had those.
Ted, I
I
said
think it
you
was
were
Knights of the Keyboard. I think that was it.
Really?
He said called sports writers Knights of the Keyboard.
They had keyboards back then?
I was gonna say it's a bad line.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he called them. The Knights of the Keyboard. Yeah, you talked to the Knights of the Keyboard about me. You want to
Not in a
apologize?
bad way. I spoke very highly
Not in
of
a bad
you
way.
and
I just said
everything
you
you've
had
done
the
for me.
worst first pitch. And you also said that when we went to the Sea Dogs and you weren't there. You said
So I've done this. I have a history of
you
this.
Anybody
slandered
asked
us.
Tyler question? He's
Yeah,
like,
I
Jared, when
killed
Jared
him.
blows, I think he sucks at everything. Write that, by the way, and say I said
Yeah,
it.
print it on the record.
I don't think I said anything that was incorrect.
Because I know, like, I don't know if you guys talked about this, but they split us up. Coley and Steve went on
Yeah.
radio. Me and Tyler went on Nesson. We both did the broadcast. They asked me about Tyler, and I gushed about this kid.
I
Then he
said
does
this
an
on the
interview, and he's
pod.
like, I fucking hate Jared. Like,
I didn't
worst
do
first pitch.
that.
This guy sucks. I don't know how he's made it anywhere in anything
Are
that he's
you
ever
kidding
done.
me?
I
I was
literally-
gushing to him about you and what you've done for
I
me.
read the press, and you slandered me.
Did you read the part? Did he include it about what I said about you?
That's
No.
the thing about giving quotes. You don't get to dictate what
No.
actually goes into
Right.
the piece.
Nope.
So you could have been sucking them dry for an hour and a half.
The tip was
And
in my
all-
mouth.
If
His
all they
tip
printed
was
was,
in
I
my
think
mouth."
Jared stinks at baseball. Yeah, then that's all you said.
Oh my God. It was, I'm going to pull it up right now.
Read it to me, please.
This is from telegram.com.
Tommy Cassidy, right?
His name
Shout
is
out
Tommy
Tommy.
Castle.
Oh, I was
It's
close.
there could be
Tommy,
Cassell.
Tommy Cassidy.
Cassidy.
Tommy Cahuzo.
He used one of his videos today. He's a great guy.
Yeah, let me see. You fucking You slandered the shit out of me in this thing. This was a yeah, okay. It was okay. Definitely not the worst out of the group, said Milliken, who practices first pitch like a fucking loser.
That's in the article?
That's in there.
Quote, I'd say Jared was the worst because he basically almost airmailed it, but I'll take second worst.
Okay, that's honorable. I took some damage on myself there as well.
You said that yours was better than mine. It just simply was not.
Definitely wasn't.
You looked awful doing it. It wasn't a strike. There's no velocity. Jake won the velocity.
Jake?
Yeah, by a mile.
Yeah, no one was even close to Jake's velocity.
I just thought yours was not very
Jared's
direct.
was very specifically a ceremonial first pitch.
Yeah, I
That's
was
what
just
Jared's
getting it
was.
in there.
You
Like,
were
you know
not
what?
gunning
Steve
it.
said, I'll take a page out of Steve's book. Steve said, I only want to look good in the pictures. That's what
Yeah.
I was doing. Like, you want me to be grunting and fucking, like, I mean, you know, I've definitely done that in the past.
I
But
wasn't focused on the picture at all. I just wanted to reach, and that's why mine doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. I didn't
We
care
throw
about that at all.
all of ours are kind of, the release is kind of high. It's not necessarily supposed to look like a pitch. It's just supposed to be where the ball ends up.
yeah, dude.
And to the picture point, you want to look decent for the pics.
You want to look good for the
And
pics. I look good
Yeah.
for the pics, dude.
I mean, if you want me to throw like a textbook pitch at Fenway, I will.
Dude, you tell me, Tyler, that you want everything I got. Everything I got, and I'll do that for the Fenway first pitch. Everything
I
I
thought
got.
your Fenway first pitch, you know,
It was that.
a year ago was incredible. It was as
you have
perfect as
nothing to
perfect could be.
lose, Jared, at Fenway.
Yeah, I've already
'Cause
done it. Yeah.
You've already done it, and it went well, and the pics look good. So you have
Yeah.
nothing to lose.
Well, I want this last one because I told you I'm doing the shadow box of all my first pitches, and I'm gonna like have the pictures and label them. So this one will be included in that. I'm not doing it until I do this one because I want you guys to be a part of it.
Thank you.
Sentimental Jerry. But if you want me to warm up that day, I'll bring my fucking glove to Fenway for Section 10 night. I'll warm up and I'm gonna fucking gas one in there. I'll do it. I don't give a fuck. Yes, Tyler?
Just after having this conversation and talking things out, I'd like to apologize. I think that was wrong what I did. And
Yeah, no
you know,
shit.
it takes a lot for someone to step up and say something like that, but I feel like this is a spot where I need to do it. So yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, you slandered me to the press.
I didn't slander you. I spoke my mind.
You're saying it takes a
actually-
lot to apologize after ripping someone? Is that what you're saying? Doesn't
Yeah,
take
This is a
that
public
much.
platform, and this
Yeah,
is
I'm the bigger man because I slandered you to
I'm
the
the bigger
to the
man.
press.
I ripped this guy to the press, and then I said, I'm kind of sorry about
Rip
it.
feels a little bit strong. It feels a little bit strong.
You slandered me.
Slandered?
Yeah. That's like saying like Manny Ramirez's swing in this home run derby looks like shit. Like, no, it doesn't. It looks awesome.
Manny was hitting tanks.
Yeah. And I was throwing strikes.
You were hitting someone in the head.
It wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't. It set the tone nicely for the rest of us, and then Jake said,
Yeah.
"Fuck that tone."
Yeah.
I think we were all around the same in terms of the trajectory of the ball
Well,
and
Tyler's
everything.
was the worst. He looked
Whoa.
awful. It was not a strike. It was uncomfortable.
You also tried to
looking.
go 3 different times.
All right,
Yeah.
You know what? If we're going to just throw people under the bus here, I
Uh-oh.
didn't get any text messages about how bad my first pitch was. Just saying.
Wow.
I'm putting that out there.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry.
Lou got me.
Sorry.
Lou got me.
Oh yeah. Lou said that Steve sucked. But
I didn't think it was that
Steve's
bad.
all,
My
no,
head's
no, no.
completely
Steve's
fine.
always sucks. That's his
This is
like,
I'm not going to go along with this. I hate this.
That's his like signature. It's like it's his
Sucking.
thing. He throws first pitches that suck. Like
Oh, well, that's true. Well,
but
I
you
was
have
trying to
to
avoid.
move.
No,
You
the
have
last
to-
one I did was in Hyannis, and I threw it to the backstop. I was trying to avoid
Yes,
that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like Steve, you
Okay.
have to be successful at something. You have to be a somebody to have multiple opportunities to throw a first pitch and suck every time, but you still get the invite, which
It's
means
about
that
the opportunity.
Yes, it's about being asked to do it, and you've had multiple opportunities to do it. So you know what? You just got to tip your cap. You know.
Yeah. The funny thing is, the only person that said anything negative about my pitch was Lou Merlone,
Oh,
and he said it twice.
He's the best baseball analyst in this market. So
It's credit to him for doubling down. He's like, no, it's just.
No.
I was like, wasn't that bad? He was like, it was, and we're gonna move on.
I want to make sure you know I'm very serious. It wasn't good.
And this
I
is
thought it was
while
completely fine. Like,
I
was
know, I
completely
did too.
awesome.
I think it was fine. But we're listening to the radio call on the way home, and Will and Lou are both texting me like, "That's a bad first pitch." Like,
yeah,
as
the
they're
game
calling
is
the
going
game.
on, and they're like,
They're
"Man,
calling
we-
the game,
We
and
gotta
they're like,
tell
"We
this
gotta
guy."
let this guy know
Yeah.
right now." This was
Mhm.
not a great pitch, but
Yeah.
yeah, we all did.
But
We all did a
anyways.
solid job. Jake was the best.
Let's not get away from the fact that Tyler slandered me to the press. That's crazy.
It's wild. It's a wild move. But first,
And he didn't get tossed for it.
First fucking tape recorder gets shoved in this guy's face. Just yap, 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 yap.
Crazy.
I apologize. Hey, Jared, from me to you, I apologize.
I'll remember it though.
Don't say it like that, because you know I'm going to think about it, and you know it's going to bother me.
What are you gonna
Should.
think about?
Now I'm going to feel guilt over this.
What, the fact that you slandered me to the press?
I would never slander you. It
No,
was a
you
joke
didn't.
that
It's in
didn't come
print.
through well. It was a funny. It was a ha ha ha. Like, got him. Like, you know.
Jake, did you laugh when you read it, or when I read it to you?
Nah, I felt like just slander, to be honest.
Yeah, that's kind of how I took it.
I'm going to have to retract these comments in the newspaper. I'm going to have to write a letter here.
You're gonna
to take
call
these
this
all
guy.
back.
Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna have to do.
Tommy
but-
Castle, please.
So yeah, Tommy Cassidy. If you could just, if you could
Why
hit
do I
up our
talk?
guy
I got to
Tyler here to do a follow-up story. Actually, I actually got contacted about doing a story about the 500th episode, the WooSox, and Section 10 night at Fenway. Got email questions, but I'm just gonna like. Here's one of the questions.
Uh-oh.
Who do you fucking hate the most in the world?
Tell me about WooSox night, the atmosphere, what you guys did, and did it serve as a tease to September 9th at Fenway? My answer to this question is gonna be like, I fucking hate Tyler. This guy's first pitch was terrible. He will not be invited. Actually, no, we are gonna have him. We're gonna have him at Section 10 night, but he's the only one that's not allowed to throw a first pitch.
He should have to chuck it like
He should have to go
nowhere
first.
near it.
He should have to
Yeah.
go first.
Oh, they're
I'm
gonna
not
make us
going
all do
first.
it.
That's
at once,
crazy.
Yeah, I'd
Uh,
assume we're all going at once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, Tyler has to go alone at first, and then we do it as a group.
Tyler should have to
Nope.
throw from first.
Yeah, he should have to throw from center field. Yeah.
He's gonna do the drill where from center he has to throw it into a bucket, and the game
Yeah.
cannot start until he gets it in the bucket.
Do the Tom Amansky drill, and
Yeah.
then the game can
Oh,
start.
I would prefer that over the first pitch.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, I would love that. I honestly thought that there was a chance that the Savannah Bananas were going to ask me to do that, and I could have done it too.
Red Sox lose 4-1.
Section 10 podcast is brought to you by Sox Signatures. Sox Signatures is the leader in autographs and game used memorabilia of tomorrow's Boston baseball stars. Visit SoxSignatures.com today for unique items and the best prices on Sox prospects from Lowell to Boston. Use promo code Section 10 to get 10%. Is it 10%? To get 10% off? Use promo code Section 10 to get 10% off.
Your
What
first
it-
order.
Is it?
I thought it was it dollars? Is it percent?
Is it percent? Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if I still have it somewhere. Do I have
That
it?
was a note on your phone.
I don't know if I still have it anymore. I don't have the old Section 10 now. Use promo code Section 10 to get 10% off off your first order. I don't know what the fucking it's something like that. At Sox Signatures.
.com.
I did it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's not the point.
Did you not want me to do it?
Big kid. .com.
No. Last time this happened. No.
We are not.
Last time this happened, nobody did anything, and then I got suspended for not going first.
No, you definitely don't go first. Steve goes
You don't go.
first.
I always go. Yeah.
Last time Steve didn't go first.
Oh, he always goes first.
I always go first. I went first
He
last time.
couldn't have been more ready to do it this time, and he did it.
He did it, yeah. You guys did it at the same time. I heard two
I
voices.
beat him.
Well, you're not supposed to.
That's not
This isn't like a race to like say it.
And then when I did mine, you talked over me.
Yeah.
Question real quick.
Yeah, Steve.
And I should remember this, but when did the big coupon bitch come in? Like, when did that big coupon bitch? Like,
I think it was a Sox Signatures
that's what I thought.
read, and I think he was doing maybe like a holiday thing. It's kind of like, you know, if you spend $50, then you get free shipping.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back because I mean I can recite the whole thing, but like I don't know. Use promo code section 10 to get 10.
Is it dollars?
It might be dollars. I would have bet percent 5
You get
minutes.
$10
ago, but I
off
do
your
think it's
first order.
dollars.
Sox signature.
Get 10% off your first order. That's use yeah. I think it is 10%. Use promo code section 10 to get 10% off your first order at Sox Signature. Yeah, I think it is 10%.
Yeah, percent
off.
would feel right. Yeah.
Yeah.
.com.
.com. How long have you guys been going for?
I think 3 hours.
Mine says hour 39.
Same.
And we did cut when you died.
You did?
We talked about how we were whether or not we were gonna keep going, or whether or not we were just gonna put out those 10 minutes.
Yeah, how we wanted to announce that you were dead, like the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been very
So
funny.
yeah, that's not a lot.
We did do the announcement about the House of Blues, though. That made the cut.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's part of why we thought we were just going to put that out, because we
Yeah.
kind of nailed it. We kind of got all the information in there.
Yeah. That's the good shit. Yep, that's what people came for.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
There's not a ton more from this series, right? Pretty blah
No.
series.
Very
Bad.
blah series.
Rafaela good, everyone else bad.
I got Tanner Houck
Duran
thoughts.
I think
Alright.
Tyler's got
And
some
Rob
house
Schneider.
stuff.
You got some Houck stuff?
I do have some Houck stuff.
All right, just the Houck. Just the Houck.
None of the Rob Refsnyder.
Not
For
necessarily.
Tanner Houck to do what he did, 6
He
innings.
dropped the ball. We covered Rob Refsnyder.
I appreciated him apologizing after the game. I thought that was a nice little leadership moment. But for Tanner Houck to throw 6 shutout innings, definitely defense helped him. You know, Duran and O'Neill, Sogard, Abreu and Rafaela on that relay. But if you look at 4 out of his last 5 starts, the last 5 starts, it's a 320 or a 323 or a 448 FIP. But in 4 of the last 5 starts, he's led with the sinker. The only time he didn't was that one start against the D-backs, which is his one blow up over that entire time. He led with the sweeper. I know we've been talking a lot about the Red Sox and this different approach with Andrew Bailey, going away from some of the breaking stuff here. Clearly, with where Tanner Houck's command and control are at this point, I think we're seeing him have success when leading with the sinker. He clearly can't get the sweeper to where it needs to be all the time. Nick Pivetta was very heavy in this start as well with the 4-seamer. And Lou made a point on the radio broadcast talking about Criswell's sinker usage also being on the rise. So for people who are looking for that change from Andrew Bailey, I think we're now seeing over the last couple weeks, the starting pitching especially be a bit better. I think you're seeing that adjustment from him. I think for Houck,
Why are
stay
you
away-
finishing every sentence like that?
What?
He's got his cadence. It's the Tyler cadence.
Like, just fucking say the fucking sentence, dude.
That is all.
Thank you.
Oh, Tyler. Tyler's sad.
Any concerns about Rafael Devers?
Yeah. Just towards this season, not long term, but like,
Not
I
healthy.
hope, like don't push him through September if he's clearly not healthy.
Did not look good in this series.
No.
Yeah, I saw some people being like, "Did we shut down Rafael Devers?" No, I don't think you shut him down.
I don't think they might not be far from it, though.
Yeah, I think
It's if you
soon
should have
for
placed
sure.
him on the IL. I think that's the conversation at this point because it'd be closer to him coming off.
I think they know he's done though. Like I think they were trying to I just think he's very hurt, and he's been kind of hurt most of the year, which has sucked. And
I feel like he's
put up-
always hurt. If we're
Yeah.
he always plays, but he's always hurt.
And it's
You know,
always like early, too. They're like, he's been battling since April. Like,
yeah, you can see him grimacing here. Like I feel like we've been dealing with that since 2020. like Rafael Devers has been in a constant state of playing through pain and injury for 4 years, but he doesn't really miss games. And if he does, it's never an IL stint. It's like, yeah, like he's going to need a day. And, you know, he'll sit out a day here, whatever. But I just always feel like we're teetering on physical disaster with Rafael Devers, but that day never comes. So I don't know. It's like that episode of Family Guy when Brian is gonna like beat up Stewie for owing him money, and it's like, but he's like, I'm not gonna tell you when I'm gonna do it. And that's what I feel like with Devers. It's like I feel like I've been waiting for years for that. You know, oh fuck, that's awful injury news, but it never comes. But he's always grimacing in pain, but he'll always play at the same time. It's weird.
But he'll always play, and he'll typically always play well. So what makes it weird is when he's battling through pain, but he's also not playing well. For most other people, that makes sense because they're hurt. But for Rafael Devers,
it is one series, though.
No, I know. That's why I never like making a huge thing out of it, because it typically doesn't last. And Corey even alluded to it in the postgame. Like, I bet he gets going, you know, in New York. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he has a couple bombs in the series coming up. But he is hitting 190 over the last, or 182 over the last 2 weeks. So
he was 1 for 13 in this series, and it was a single.
They also went from the point of having him at DH to having him play the field. So if you're looking at, you know, whether he was feeling worse or improving, at least in their eyes, he obviously had to be improving if they put him in the field. Because they were willing to just suck it up and put him at DH, which complicates the entire roster.
But I don't know that I can ever really say that I'm worried about Rafael Devers. Even when, like I just said, even when he's hurt, he will play and he will perform. Like, go back and watch his 2021 playoff run. The dude was fucking in pain.
It's on his deathbed.
Every time he swung the bat, he would swing and then drop the bat because he couldn't even hold the bat. He was in so much pain. But he probably, if you go back and look at the numbers, probably hit like 380 with like a fucking 1157 OPS that postseason. Or at least it felt like it. The way and he was hitting bombs off. What the fuck is his name?
Yeah, he hit a 1029 OPS that postseason.
Yeah. 1029 OPS for the postseason. Dude had
5
like
home runs.
Yeah. He was dying. His shoulder was like popping out of its socket, and he couldn't even lift. He couldn't even wipe his own ass, and was just hitting tanks in the postseason. So, yeah. So all that to say, we're collectively we're not worried about Rafael Devers.
Not really, but
it's on our radar. It's on our radar.
It's on our radar, and with the amount of games left, there's a decent chance they're not far from shutting him down, which is the saddest part and just the most annoying part of the whole thing.
Yeah, for me, it's like, why, if we know he does get banged up constantly, why put unnecessary miles on his body?
It's an argument for the third base stuff and the DH stuff as well moving forward. If
you know,
are you limiting what his ability is if he doesn't have to deal with this shit every single year? And maybe the stuff would still pop up if he was at the plate, but you know, if you could keep him healthier DH, is there another level that we haven't even seen yet?
Yeah. Not to say that the Red Sox deserved to win the series. They didn't. But I think Duran would have taken home another Clark's Catch-Up Series MVP had the Red Sox pulled out a victory today. Had an 1154 OPS in this series. Couple of extra base hits. Actually, 3 extra base hits, 2 doubles and a homer. 10 total bases. No one else really came close. Oh, total valid point, by the way. I don't know where you land on this, Coley, but Connor Wong playing left field and the Red Sox being like, Yoshida cannot play left. Like, he's just not, he's not a guy that we can put out there, but they'll be like, hey, making his major league fucking debut. Here's our catcher, Connor Wong in left field. It just seems like
even what he did at second base in the second game, he didn't look great there either.
Right. And so I don't know.
Is there something? Could there be something coming from like Yoshi's camp of like the fact, or Yoshida's camp? The fact that it's not that bad. The fact
that's a warning.
All right, fine. That's a warning. Fine. the fact that, everything went the way it did earlier in the season, they were like, by the way, like, we're not going to, if you come to us with the fielding thing, we don't agree. We're not going to do it. Like, isn't there a chance that that's a possibility?
That Cora, like, they asked him about it and he was like, we'll never put him in the field. Like,
he shot it down immediately. I just don't know if that means there's another reason why.
Because, like, when we were alive for the Hanley Ramirez and left field era, that was truly dreadful. Like, that was like someone
Kyle
that
Schwarber a couple years ago.
Schwarber is like, yes.
He was the worst defensive outfielder in baseball last year.
Yes,
Yoshida was number 2, technically.
But I don't know if it's because he's a bigger fella. It never feels as bad as it actually is with Schwarber. Like, I'm sure the numbers say it's bad, but like when he's out there, it's just like, hey, he'll catch a fly ball. He's not going to make a difficult play ever.
And he kind of just looks like your buddy playing the outfield. So you're like, he's going to mess up a little bit, but he hits 10.
Yeah, but we love him.
Yeah.
Right.
Funny guy too. He's funny. So
yeah, it's
let
funny
him make
when
some
he
errors.
fucks up too. He makes it look funny out there. But like with Masataka Yoshida. Well, back to Hanley for a second. If you were a casual baseball fan, someone that doesn't watch 162 games, you could watch Hanley Ramirez out there and be like, that guy thinks sucks. He's not good at this. Like, I don't know what great looks like historically, but if this is like my first few times watching baseball, I can look at that guy and be like, seems like he's bad. You can watch Masataka Yoshida play left field and be like, well, I didn't like, nothing really stood out to me where his defense was so bad that we would rather have our catcher in left field over even entertaining the idea of putting him in the outfield ever again. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Have we really come that far in the last 10 years with defensive metrics where a team would pay a man $90 million to play left field knowing that he can't play left field, but then we can give a guy virtually the same contract and after 1 year shut it down? And I'm not even advocating for Masataka Yoshida being your everyday left fielder. I'm not doing that. But the idea that he can never play the outfield ever again, like when we're in a pinch, when it's like we need the DH spot because Devers is banged up, can we put Masa in left so that Devers can DH today? Can we do that? Absolutely not. It's one or the other. Either Devers is playing third and Masa's DH, or Devers is DH and Masa's on the bench. He will never see the outfield ever again. I don't know what I missed last year defensively where he cannot, like, we would, like, having our catcher in left field is a better idea. It's more conducive to winning than Masa in left field. I
it's
don't
how they
understand
justify the Mickey Gasper stuff too. It's the fact that they think they can play Wong in these different spots and it gives them more utility. We did see Yoshida for an inning back on in April, early April, whatever it was at that time. But I think it's the run prevention unit, however they framed it this year, where they labeled him this defender that can never step out there. It's just, you have Connor Wong. He hadn't played out there since 2017 in college. There's no way you look at that and you think it's going to be better, even with, left field in Detroit being massive. Rob Refsnyder's out there, balls going off his glove that he's supposed to catch. Like, give it a shot just in a pinch to make the roster work, especially when you're struggling to score runs.
The last thing this team is a run prevention unit. This is a run allowing unit. That's what most of their players do.
That's what's coming from the offseason. It's like our defense is dog shit all over the field. But if we shore up left, the least important of the 9 on the field will be right back on top. It was Manny Ramirez was our left fielder for 7-8 years. Like, historically not known for his defense. He played the monster well and he had a great arm. He had those things. But he's also like cutting off our center fielder and pissing in the monster and shit. Like, he was not out there. He had headphones in. Like, he had no care at all. And that team was awesome. Every year he was on it. Like, I don't want to hear that all of a sudden we're prioritizing left field defense. It's outrageous.
It makes so little sense that I'm not counting out that someone from Yoshida's team is like not doing it, or someone up top is saying it's not happening.
We know he's not happy about it. Like, we know there was a clear disconnect earlier in the season when they were talking to him about it and why he was sitting for so long. And I think that's where the messaging, and there's a problem because they were saying that shit to us in, the owners' meetings. He took steps forward as the year went along. The metrics got better. Our internal stuff said all this. And then he shows up to spring training and it's a completely different story. I don't blame him for feeling some type of way. And we know him and the organization on multiple things do not see eye to eye right now.
He's basically played at like a 3-WAR pace just as the DH this year, which should be like celebrated. And instead, it's like some outcast that they've made an outcast for no reason.
And Cora is sensitive to it. We know it. We've seen it when he's been asked about it and different stuff like that. So
yeah, it's I have a feeling there's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's pissed him off, honestly, and I don't think he likes talking about it because of it. Anytime Cora doesn't want to answer questions, it's typically two things. It's like today where he knows he fucked up, and it's like, all right, how much do we have to talk about? I fucked up, whatever. Like sometimes, like most times it works out, whatever. Or if it's something where he's probably like, oh God, this. I got to address this. Like, I think a certain way, but certain other people don't, so I have to go with that. I think it's more that than anything else. Oh, I've seen that look before.
What? Jake?
I can't because everything turns off.
Oh, okay. How about game time, man?
I know.
Holy shit, these guys. It's crazy, the deals. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Shout out to the Game Time app, man. People are getting their tickets to the WooSox to come out and see us. People are using the Game Time app. Actually, people are going to be using the Game Time app if they live in Kansas City to come see me and Coley and Dr. Wiener on September 21st. That's going to be something. I mean, that's going to be a hot ticket. Like,
it's Royals Giants World Series rematch. People can't stop talking about it.
Mm-hmm. If you live in Kansas City on September 21st, come on out to the K if you want to see the debut of Dr. Wiener, because those tickets, they're not going to last long.
Flying.
They are flying. Game Time Picks curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more, all in pricing. You toggle this feature, shows you the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy your tickets, and they've got the lowest price guarantee. Your Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code Section10 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and use the promo code Section10. That is SECTION10 for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it?
Game time.
It's game time. It's game time. Okay. Anything else from that Tiger series?
No, I also think Rafaela was certainly in contention for catch-up. Just handing it to Duran feels incorrect.
I mean,
no one gets it.
No.
Whoever did the swing, hypothetically did the swing on Sunday, probably gets it if they also did other good stuff. But in theory, it could have been Duran with a really good 2-out at bat. If the game ends 1-0, I highly doubt it. But love that at bat. The fact that he hasn't hit lefties, super great this year. But goes with the pitch and drives the run in, does it again.
Rafael also got sat because apparently he's been expressing himself with more frustration lately. So that was a big reason why he wasn't out there.
Wait, what?
What is that?
Yeah, Cora said he seems more frustrated than usual, so they're trying to give him a mental break right now. He's been more upset after he's been getting out and struggling at the plate lately. Not a punishment or anything, just he needs a mental reset day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's tough. Something had clicked there for a while, and then it unclicked, and he's been chasing a ton, so I'm sure he's fuck. I think once he's adjusted at every level, and the thing about the majors is they're going to keep adjusting. It's not that one adjustment and then you're fine at that level. They're going to keep adjusting to your adjustments. And so I bet that is frustrating.
They got to be happy with what they've seen out of him this year. I don't know how they
For
could
sure.
not be.
Yeah, we talk about the defense. They've asked him to play the two most fucking important positions.
And he's improved his shortstop as the year's gone along, too.
Yeah, we talked about the Ref Snyder play, and we've had some moments this year where we've done events. It's been a ton of fun, obviously, but then in turn you miss the Red Sox game, so you have to kind of catch up on it. It felt like a lot of the discussion was about Rafaela, and I didn't see as much about Ref Snyder, but about Rafaela getting the relay and not like knowing to throw home. But that plays more on Ref Snyder, right? Am I crazy in saying that? Like he's got to catch the ball. Yeah, true. I guess it's on both of them, but he's just still got to catch the ball.
Cora said after the game, he's like, I don't, other third base coaches probably don't send that guy, but it's Joey Cora. And Joey Cora is like one of the most aggressive third base coaches in the league. But yeah, Rafael, if he's, sees it, I don't know if it was a sunlight thing too, because if you kind of watch the replay, like it looked like he was caught right on the split a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't like Cora was killing him after the game for it.
I do think the sun factored in to Ref Snyder and Rafaela. I think it factored into both of them. But either way, you already mentioned it, but glad that Rob took blame for that. He knows he has to catch that ball. And how do these games go if, Criswell stays in and if Rob catches that ball? I'm always going to believe the game situation changes based on what happens. It's like, all right, game wouldn't have just gone this way the rest of the way if that thing doesn't happen. But still, it's a very frustrating series.
That's been the whole second half, though. It's like if a couple small things change, like that Jared said, there's 3 teams who've played worse. If it was 10 teams, like you don't have to be that much better to be firmly in a playoff spot.
And a lot of times those small things are defensively. And they consistently happen over and over again.
Right. We're never like, what a fucking boneheaded base running mistake. Like that's not what we're ever complaining about.
It's always like TC. All right, we head to the 7th inning. We all know the play. Let's play it again. Here we go. It's like that happens every week. That they have to show the stupid play in the field every week that likely led to a loss. And it would be nice if our team didn't do that season after season. Jerry?
I just keep going back to the Tom Warner quote about like, man, if we just had league average defense, we would have won 15 more games.
And they'll tell you,
we would have obviously won the World Series.
Yeah. And their excuse will be that Trevor Story got hurt. And if he was somehow okay, everything would have been perfect.
I guess. I mean, you know what? We've already talked about this. I'm not going to repeat myself, but if the White Sox weren't historically bad, you're much closer, if not in a playoff spot. Like the Royals and Twins going 12-1 against the White Sox is why your season isn't more interesting right now. That's why, But you can't complain. You can't be like, oh, your divisions, divisions are what they are. We know going into it what they are. Like I'm not making excuses, but you could make the case. It's not even making a case. It's just a fact. If you had the White Sox in your division, things could be a lot different.
But that would make me feel
you still got
better
7 games against them.
No. The Red Sox are just not like as good of a team as the rest of the teams that are in a playoff spot. Like the teams that are like on the outskirts right now, because now you've allowed the Tigers to essentially catch you. They're a half game back of you. You're 4.5 back of the Twins and Royals, who have the same record, or they're tied, whatever. You're 4.5 back of them. Tigers are a half game back of you. The Mariners are half game back of them. So yeah, you're all bunched up right now, and you're more in the Tigers Mariners class than you are in the Twins Royals class. That's just a fact in terms of how well you've played for the whole year. Like you're in that class of Tigers Mariners, who are in the class of, yeah, we don't suck, but we're not playoff teams. Like that's the class that you're in. You're not a bad team, but you're not a playoff team.
When like MLB, I know people have thoughts of the BR rankings, but like when these places do their power rankings every week over the course of the season, the Red Sox are always on page number 2. It is consistently between 11 and 20. You're always going to find the Boston Red Sox. They snuck in to the top 10 a little bit. There was a brief time where they were a top 10 team, but if you want to be a playoff team, you got to be kind of a top 10 power ranking team. And consistently, I think the last 2 months now, they're a game under 500, if I'm not mistaken. And that's kind of what it's felt like for the most part, especially since the break. It's been worse than that since the break. That's counting the W's before the All-Star break in early July. The last month and a half, like Jared mentioned, they've been mainly a very frustrating team to watch.
It's also hard to blame the division when we're saying we're basically the Tigers and the 3 teams ahead of them are playoff teams. Like, yeah, they have to play the White Sox. The Guardians weren't easy to play at the beginning of the season. They've cooled off a little bit. But the Royals and Twins also are ahead of the Tigers, and those are the teams we're trying to catch. So, yeah, they get to play the White Sox. The Blue Jays haven't been world beaters, neither have the Rays. They're better than the White Sox, fucking obviously, but if we can't handle our business against the worst teams in our division, I can't be like, oh, if that other division was better.
It's not like when you played the White Sox, you showed out, you split with them. So,
Right.
Go in there and go sweep. Go follow that same, pace. And you still lost more games to them than either of those other 2 teams did.
Combined, they've lost as many games to the White Sox as you have.
Go show up and take care of business on.
One of the most depressing things, and this happened around a similar time last season, is that the Red Sox can still finish last in the division.
For sure.
It is not out of the question that they could be a last place team again after they, I think, swept the Yankees last year around this time, maybe a week later than this.
August 20th.
Okay, it was maybe a little earlier than this, but I figured, okay, all right, well, they're going to finish ahead of the Yankees. It's like, no, you can't assume anything with this team, even though these teams have different DNA and some different players on the roster, and we've talked a lot about how there's more to be excited about on this team than the last couple. You're still in a similar position. It's September 1st, and you're 4.5 out, 5 back in the loss column of the Twins. And that's about what you've been the last couple of years when September starts.
I would say
4.5 out, 4 up on the last place team. You're closer to last than you are the playoffs right now.
And you still got 3 games against the Blue Jays left this year. So, another game closer and you get swept, you fall apart at the very end of the season. Boom,
and they got the Rays left, too. I mean, the Rays, if they finish behind the fucking Devil Rays, I'm going to lose my mind. But, oh well.
Well, we've talked about, the last couple of years, it feeling like all these other teams got better and the Red Sox kind of just stood still. Now, really, that's where the Red Sox are. It's like Sims, Garcia, Paxton. Those guys are gone. If anything, they hurt you before they ended up being out. And maybe you see Garcia again for a little stretch here. But Danny Jansen, he's a backup catcher basically for your team. It is the same situation in a lot of ways. Unfortunately, due to bad luck in these cases. But you're rocking with basically the same team you had then and hoping for the best.
they can't finish in last. I don't even fucking know that I would care. If you miss, you miss. Whatever. I'm not gonna be like, damn, like successful season in 3rd place. Like, I don't give a fuck. Either you're in or you're out. And if you're out, give me the chance for a better draft pick. I guess. I don't know. Who fucking cares?
I'd just rather that not happen. I don't want another last place finish.
I don't want the same record. Don't give me the same record.
78 and 84 is still in play too.
Yeah,
I doubt it. They'd have to go 8 and 17. But
we were saying that last year that it was just all the way down.
I know. And then if you end Deversey, you put him on the IL, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, and Tyler O'Neill's doing fucking nothing. So who's the guy that's at the plate that's going to help you?
It's like last year. It was Casas, Duran,
He's hitting
and
108 the last 2 weeks. Like, it's not to crap on the guy, but like, this just sucks. We've already mentioned it, but offensively, they are dying at the worst possible time. Like, you're finally getting good pitching, and they can't score any runs. It's ridiculous.
It's such a weird spot to be in. I don't think they're going to completely fall apart.
No,
I don't either.
I don't think that they're going to stay right here, I think. I don't think that they're going to gain much. I don't think they're going to fall off the face of the earth. I think they're just kind of flutter around 3 back, 5 back, whatever. And
I think they're going to finish like 5 out of the last spot. That
Which
kind
is
of feels
an
like what it's going to be.
Yeah.
That would probably be a 500 season. So, yeah.
And that's why you go to Underdog, right? And you enter promo code Jared, and when you just see another team playing the Red Sox, here's what you do. If the Red Sox won the night before, you just know they're not going to do that again. So you go for whatever team we happen to be playing, like the Metropolitans.
Mm-hmm. Promo code
What do you
Jared.
guys think their promo code Jared there? What do you think their longest winning streak is since the break?
Oh,
Have they won 3 straight?
2? Yeah, I think it's 2.
The answer is 3 once.
That's so sad.
It was the last game of the Rangers series and the first 2 of the Royals. That was the last time as a group I think we were
thought
all
that
happy.
there was yeah.
Yeah, they got to a half game out in the wild card. They beat the Royals in another series, which means they clinched the tiebreaker in the wild card. We drizzled ketchup all over Tyler as Jim Rice walked behind us. Incredible time. And it's kind of been downhill since then.
That was the high point, yeah. I mean, the only other time really was trying to talk ourselves into like, well, we lost 2 out of 3, but really we actually are in a better, or no, we lost 3 out of 5, but we're actually in a better spot now. So
That's where you're going to be at, though, where you look at the losing streaks that the Royals and Twins have gone on the last 10 days and you didn't make up for it. This is where you needed to do it. If you had showed up for this, 10-game stretch.
the Royals have lost 5 straight games, and the Red Sox didn't do a goddamn
That's
thing
it.
about it.
It's like you just show up and you play better than 500 and you're in a better spot than you are. The Twins lost 4 in a row, and that whole homestand was bad for them. You had your chances.
They've won. The Twins have won 4 of their last 13 games, and the Red Sox gained 0 ground. I think they lost a half game in that span.
It was there for you.
Since that Royals when they lost 4 straight, they won 2 against Texas, lost 2 in a row. Somehow won 2 in a row against the Orioles before losing the last game. Somehow beat the Astros 2 out of 3, and then lost 4 straight, won 2, lost 1, lost 2, and now we play the Mets, who have been better than you, more or less.
Yeah. That's why I keep saying, like, the Red Sox don't deserve to be a playoff team, but that doesn't mean that they can't be. You still have a month left. Like, as we've just seen, I mean, a team like the Kansas City Royals that looked like they were about to take over the division and win the division, they just lost 5 straight. But that's the difference is the Twins are in their streak of we can't fucking do anything right, and the Red Sox are worse. So when these teams, you guys ever play Star Fox?
Mm-hmm. Really
So-
liked it.
Great game. So but there would be like these bosses in the game where they're these like giant robots that are menacing and powerful and they can destroy you. But it was very silly that every once in a while, just like this thing would like open up, and if you shoot into it, that's how you kill it. It's like the Twins and the Royals have been like, kill us, and we're just not shooting it. We're not. Like, we're just continuing to just let them be this like big powerful robots in Star Fox. But I've used the putty reference from Power Rangers. They just have a self-destruct button right on their chest. You just punch them in the chest and they disintegrate. It's like, the Twins are sitting here being like, punch us in the chest, just do it, punch us. And the Red Sox are punching themselves in the head. I don't understand it. I don't know how long that's gonna be. What?
You know who loves Star Fox?
Underdog?
Dan Perrault.
Oh, Dan Perrault.
Obviously,
I didn't even
Dan
get to
Perrault.
talk about this, dude. I fucking, man. Before the first pitch, getting to see Dan Perrault up in the suite, just pointing up to him, getting to talk to him in the suite afterwards. Just, man. It was kind of like if I made my big league debut and Roger Clemens was there. It's like, man, like you're my idol. You're the reason why I do this. But now in this second phase of life for me, not as a player, but as a podcaster, it's Dan Perrault for me. Just looking up in the seats and seeing DP. What a thrill.
You guys shared a really good moment. And I know before
Moments,
I started
plural.
kind of recording, moments, but you were getting emotional. You had to kind of, kick
I was
it into
crying.
gear.
I
Yeah,
was
you were crying a lot. You were crying
Yeah.
a lot. But no, he appreciates it. And he sent me a rough draft of the Down on the Farm song.
It is so good. It is ridiculously good.
How the fuck did Tyler hear before I did?
He did a little performance for me in the suite.
I guess he just did it for Tyler. I didn't know that happened. But
Me and Dan would have sat at the same lunch table. That's what I told Steve before we started recording. We were vibing, me and him together. He felt
you
like
guys
a
have
you
some
were
similar
vibing?
DNA.
Yeah? What are you going to do about it?
Oh, you were
That we have a
vibing?
connection?
You were
That
vibing.
Dan likes me?
You were vibing with Dan?
Yeah, I was. We were jamming, actually.
What's his favorite
he-
movie? What's his
he
favorite
didn't sing the
movie?
song to
What's
you.
his favorite movie?
Free Willy 3.
No, it's not. It's not Super Mermaid.
Of all the guesses you could cobble together, why? Where did that one
suck
come
too.
from?
The movie sucked.
The first one, they all suck.
No, the first one was good.
Name one thing other than him jumping over the kid.
The Michael Jackson song.
So the soundtrack you loved.
That's a good song.
What was the mermaid movie on Disney? You guys
Little
remember that?
Mermaid.
No, not that one. Where it's like a kid, like a real movie, like people are in it.
The live action Little Mermaid.
No,
Yeah.
that is not the movie. It was like it was like High School Musical, but like for mermaids.
Musical Mermaid.
It's
Mhm.
Little Mermaid, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll figure it out. Hold on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be my
Ariel.
comfort movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Little Mermaid. Under the sea. That one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pissing me off that all I'm getting is fucking the Little Mermaid when I Google
That's
Mostly
what
because
it
you're talking
is.
about the
Little
Little
Mermaid.
Mermaid.
What was the bad bitch's name in Little Mermaid?
Ursula?
Ursula. I love that name.
Yeah.
The 13th year.
Mm-mm.
No,
Great
that's
film.
not a
Alright.
thing. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You see who homered today, Tyler?
No, I saw who doubled.
Bobby Dahlbeck.
Oh, I actually.
Bobby Dahlbeck.
Hey, Bob's a great guy, man. True class
I think
act.
Jamie did too.
Yeah, he had a
Yeah,
grand slam,
slam.
actually.
It was the fuck Tyler Milliken game overall
Yeah.
down there.
Every- they all
Everybody
hate
got a extra base hit today. Seemed like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Trevor Story latest. I think we now know where he's going to be slotting in when he comes back. Obviously, where they are right now.
It
I know
doesn't
a lot
matter.
of people don't care,
It
but
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Rafael
You're
at a
correct.
second base.
Who cares? They're gonna have to really do something to win back my enthusiasm. Again, I'm not saying that they're dead. Season's not over, but as far as like my optimism goes, I think I'm in my bottom third tier right now of optimism. I'm in the red on optimism.
Well, it changes fast when the games left just dwindles like this. Like it goes down fast, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, wait, they've lost 6 games to the Royals in like a 42 game span, and they're supposed to pick up basically that amount in a 25 game span, and then by next week an 18 like it's just you just run out of games.
Yeah.
If they get jumped by the teams behind them legit in the next 24 hours, like how are you going to offer anything optimistic or positive in any sense? You can't.
But Story's coming back.
Story's coming
Hendricks too.
You know what
Oh,
sucked?
we're good. We got Story and
the
Hendricks.
Chris
coming back.
Smith report that they're not even entertaining the idea of Christian Campbell being a call up for September. It's
Well, they
like
heard
at that
Coley
point,
talking about it.
you guys talking about it? Yeah. I mean, the idea that your season could be over in like the next week, call it, and like what's the reason to watch after it's curtains for the season? Oh, something like that. Be like, oh, hey, by the way, tune in for us falling out of it, and then to really grab your attention, here is not our top prospects that are going to be playing baseball when we're playing meaningless games in September.
The way they treat each level of the minor league system and how long they took to promote everyone from Double A, and Campbell, while he moved quicker, I never thought there was even a 1% chance they were
No,
going to
but you
give him
don't
a
have to
shot.
say it.
Maybe it just
Plus, like,
depresses you.
if they're not making the playoffs and they're out of games, then what's the fucking big deal? It's not like you're going to like yank them out of AAA while there's still AAA games going on. But once their season ends, who cares?
No,
It's
I
like
think
6
the biggest
days.
thing it's more he's not on the 40 right now, right?
That is a big part of it
And
too.
then going into the off season, you try and sneak even a guy or two onto the 40, where you don't even have to do that with him until the end of next year, the earliest. Obviously, he'll come up before that, but in terms of like beginning of off season, Rule 5 time territory, where you really could use a couple extra 40-man spots, that's where it really doesn't make any sense to call him up. I know that's a shitty answer.
That's true.
I know it's
That's
not
right.
fun.
I think if you want to make that argument with anything, you can make it with Grissom. If you were like, damn, at least give me someone that
I heard his career was over.
No one said his career was over. No one ever said his career was over. I just said it was not likely they were going to bring him up and have him play, get 3-4 ABs a week when he had just started doing something at AAA again.
No, and I can't stand. It's like I like Valdez. I genuinely do. Him coming up makes no fucking sense. Like, it's another lefty. He's not a defensive substitution at all. That's where it's like I would much rather those at bat. Like, Valdez isn't whatever his trade value is not changing at all. His future prospects here are not changing at all. We know every time he comes up, he gets his one at bat, he gets a home run, and then he's just okay the rest of the time. Then he goes back down, he starts hitting home runs again. Like, that's what you do with Valdez. Grissom, you could at least see, hey, how does he look defensively, even if he's not hitting at this position? Like, even playing Rafael at second feels just like a waste of his talents.
Yeah, I'll say Stats put out a pretty interesting tweet on Grissom over the last couple of days talking about how the quality of contact for Grissom, while, he's had singles falling in, and he went deep today, credit to him. It just hasn't been where it needs to be to have much optimism about him, doing something different in the big leagues. For me, like, in terms of 40-man spots and you want to start giving guys an opportunity, I don't understand if Bob's not up right now to offer you, with the need for right-handed bat, but also versatility, where, you're not going to feel comfortable playing Valdez anywhere but second base, and even that's scary. If you're not going to bring Delbeck up and just say, go play first, third, left, and we can plug and play you anywhere and know you're going to give us good defense, why is he on the 40-man? Why? You have guys who can play those positions already. You've been willing to play Romy Gonzalez at a position he had never really played before this year. Nick Sogard's playing third base, which he hasn't played a ton of, and he's making nice plays over there. So what's the need? That'd be my question.
You done?
I'd rather give that 40-man spot to someone who's going to actually do something with it.
He homered today.
That's nice. He's been doing that, plenty down there. But, as we've seen for the past 3 years, doesn't mean much.
I know exactly what we need right now.
Yeah, it's promo code Jared.
Mm-hmm.
Download the Underdog Fantasy app. Promo code Jared, Jared, to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick. Only on the Underdog Fantasy app.
When I go to Stop and Shop, I can cross off everything that's on my list.
Stop and Shop. Look ahead. Stop and Shop.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
Look ahead.
Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and Shop, we look ahead. Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and Shop, we look ahead.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
What's better than having a Stop and Shop, getting it done for all of you?
Nothing. Like, dropping that line today when I was about to go to Stop and Shop for real. And having people understand what I was talking about. The fact that, like, Tyler has made a song sampling David Ortiz talking about Stop and Shop from, like, probably, 2006? And people are like, oh, yeah, of course I know. Stop and Shop's getting it done for all
What's
of you.
better?
What's
For all
better?
of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing better
Yeah.
than them getting it done for all of you.
My mom was like, yeah, Stop and Shop's probably the closest. And I was like, Stop and Shop getting it done for all of you. Yeah. How many people at the meet and greet, Tyler, made some sort of Stop and Shop look ahead comment to you?
Almost everyone. And I honestly, I wanted genuine feedback. I was like, do you like the song? Do you think it's funny? And just about everyone. There was only one person who was like, I really don't like it that much. They were like, it's not Clark's Ketchup. It's not into that level. And I was like, oh, all right. Like, I started expecting people to be like, yeah, I fuck with it. And they were like, yeah, just not really my kind of music. And I was like, okay. They're like, we like the David Ortiz part, though.
That's fair.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, I think, doing events like that really opens your eyes to the range of human being that listens to the show. We had all kinds of people.
There was like one of every human was
Every
represented.
type of white you can imagine was in that line.
Yeah.
That's not true.
It was
Yeah.
multicultural.
Yeah, it was.
It was
definitely
a lot of
multicultural.
whites. Definitely a lot of whites.
Yeah.
There's a lot of whites, but the Asian community was represented. The Hispanic
sure.
community was represented.
For sure.
That's about it.
The whites.
We didn't have any. There's no one from the black community there.
No, there was. There
There
definitely
was 100%.
There was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and now you're making me misremember. I feel like there was a little bit of everything. Also, the amount of people that were excited about the Section 10 162 gays T-shirt was encouraging,
For
and
sure.
even not even just talking about ethnicities here. I'm talking about age range.
Oh,
absolutely.
We had like little tiny kids asking us to
Mhm.
sign stuff, and then we even had some older folks that were very excited to get in and see us. So it's all shapes, sizes, walks of life. It was a very eye-opening experience. Very cool. You know, as we sit here playing that Stop and Shop song, and I'm like, man, there is a 63-year-old woman sitting out there right now listening to this being like, this shit bangs, dude.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So just asking. How did you, I mean, was that your first time signing an autograph, Tyler?
100%. We talked about the signatures earlier and
Looked
how
like
bad
it.
they were, but yeah, they were bad. I know. But yeah, that was a very weird experience, but it was very cool. I'll definitely practice for the next time. I don't want to disappoint people.
Tyler, you have cool like initials for a sit. Like a
I
T and an
know.
M can look cool, but you just bundled it all together.
When we had to sign the one in the dugout, because that was really the first one, and to do my first autograph on like a jersey or something like that, like I fucked it up immediately. I was going to do like a T and then the M over it, and then I realized that looked like a Yankees logo a little bit, and I was
Oh
like, this
my
is what
God.
people would think. So I tried doing Tyler with a big M and squiggles, and it didn't look good.
You'll get there.
One day. As you told Martha, the two of you and everyone else will make a man out of me.
Yes.
That's fucking garbage, dog. That is crazy.
But
That's so bad.
I'd even do the Y right. That's absurd.
That's
Steve, I'm gonna need you to
awful.
delete that one.
Well,
You're gonna have to get rid of that.
I was
Rock
gonna go
saying
on the
that out,
slider, but yeah, true. Yeah, someone's gonna spend good money on that.
yeah, that sucks.
I'm sorry.
I think ours look good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
the top one?
Mine.
Jared.
Yeah, I have a hard time. I'm like the generation that didn't spend a lot of time on cursive.
Shows. Brian Bayo versus Luis Severino. This is a 3-game set against the Mets, by the way. Brian Bayo versus Luis Severino. Cutter Crawford versus David Peterson. And Tanner Houck versus Tyler McGill. What? That you can't say that name without making fun of it. Yeah, if you were like a substitute teacher and you were taking attendance and you were going down the list, you'd be like, oh, Tyler Milliken, Jake Yazzie, Coley Mick, Steve Perrault. Looks like Tyler McGill is here today. That's good. Would you bring fucking Dunkaroos again, you fucking geek? Dunkaroos is awesome. Hold on, Dunkaroos. Hold on, Dunkaroos is awesome. I mean, I'm in character. I don't.
You were just thinking of a thing that, I need a snack that comes to mind. I was like, geez, love Dunkaroos.
Yeah, Dunkaroos is all time. Do they still make it, Coley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I know you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's a kid thing, not a fat
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
I
mean,
That's why you didn't
in the
ask me.
Section 10 group chat, I just send snacks anytime I go to the store.
Yeah. Do they still have like different flavors? Is it vanilla, chocolate, or do they cross pollinate?
Yeah, they used to cross pollinate, not anymore. They very much only have
See?
the
That's
vanilla.
what I'm talking about. That's
with rainbow
that's
sprinkles.
segregation.
Well, it's much worse too because the chocolate cookie with chocolate frosting has John Morant on it, and I thought they could have given him the other flavor for sure.
Mm-hmm. Did they ever go wild with it? Did they ever introduce strawberry cream?
Not to my knowledge. Not like I can't call peak ruse stats, but I do know like modern ruse.
Yeah. See, I would have definitely stuck with the chocolate and vanilla, but if they introduce other wild flavors, that's where you start to lose your core morals.
Sure. Yeah, they're not some sluts like Oreos where they'll put any flavor in between those fucking cheeks.
Honestly, now that you got me going on double stuff, Oreos, the Halloween orange fluff. I won't buy it, even though it tastes like the regular cream filling. It's just colored differently. I don't think I can get down with the orange cream filling. Jake?
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on there, Jared.
Thank you. Yeah, man. I don't know what it is. It's just like it's supposed to be white. And
white.
Yeah. Don't mess with a good thing is what I say. So
build the wall, Oreos.
Yeah.
Keep them out of the game we love.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. There's different things like that where they change the coloring for different holidays.
I don't want no change.
I can't get down with it. Let me think of another example.
Dude, the list of flavors Oreos cranked out. This is like one of the longest Wikipedia pages I've ever seen.
What about peanut butter?
I believe they've done peanut. I don't know why I said it like that.
Peanut butter.
I do believe they've done PB.
I don't know that I could get down with that either. I
PB
feel like
J, August 2017.
Ooh.
What about marshmallow?
What about marshmallows?
They've
What
done
about
a whole
fluff?
Peeps. They've done a whole Peeps run.
Pina colada.
Like I feel like you run into an obstacle if you start to dabble in flavors that are too close to cream filling.
Sure. I mean,
Like
they've done
marshmallow.
s'mores. They've done s'mores, which are
How do you know?
amazing.
How do you know?
How do I know that they've done s'mores?
No, how do you know the difference between cream filling and marshmallow or something like fluff?
I mean, fluff, I think, is pretty contained to the Northeast. I don't know if they have that other places. You know?
Do they do strawberry?
Yeah, they've done strawberry. All the basic flavors they've been done with.
Watermelon?
Yeah, watermelon they did do.
Oh, I love that. But I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't have
never.
it as an Oreo. No.
Never.
No.
Do you ever have the peep one?
No.
I don't think I did.
I love peeps. Big peep
That
guy.
tracks.
No.
The gingerbread ones go crazy.
No.
Crazy.
No, you can't deviate.
I promise you can. They go
You know,
crazy.
it all started, I know I've already made a Power Rangers reference back in the day, but it was just like Power Rangers started off as like, this is awesome. It's the Power Rangers. You've got the red, the green, the yellow, the black, the white, the blue. And then they started doing all this shit with it. And it's like, now we got Power Rangers and like the jungle and like space and all that. What happened to just Power Rangers at high school and the local little hangout spot that they
What happened to the White Ranger? Just leave him alone.
Yeah. Like they overcomplicated the Power Ranger universe. And I feel like that's what Oreo cookies have done.
Oh, I mean, you just the biggest sluts in the game, Oreo, the Mondelez Industries. They'll just take anyone in.
I think the only outside normal cream Oreo that I personally will entertain, Coley.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think I'm going to say?
I don't know. I do know they have a flavor coming out soon that is going to horrify you people. But what's the one you're thinking of?
Mint.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mint and chocolate, they just go together. Kind of like Blue Moon and ballparks.
I already did it.
I understand that, but I'm just saying that mint and chocolate go together.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree. What do you think about they're doing a cross promotion here with another big brand? Take a guess which brand they are cross promoting with, because they're going to introduce this flavor into the cookie, and then they're going to put the cookie into that brand as well.
Capri Sun.
You're close. That's wrong, but you're close, Tyler.
Sour Patch Kids.
No, they've done that already.
Damn it.
That's a crazy.
Yeah, terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Guess or idea?
Both. I haven't tried it, but I
Kool-Aid.
assume it's bad.
Kool-Aid.
No, it's in the drink family.
Sunny D?
No, you're going the wrong way.
Brother, I had a Sunny D the other day for the first time since probably 3rd grade, and I crushed that thing. I was like, let me take a suckle on this bottle and see if it brings back any memories.
Freddie Lynn.
Hey, Freddie Lynn, let me suck on those titties. Yeah, it basically was that.
So much sugar.
Yeah, I don't really.
It's crazy.
It's not something where it satisfied my needs. I was like,
Sure.
okay, it's been 25 years since I've had a Sunny Delight, but I can.
So
go
they're
another
doing a cross with Coca-Cola, where they're gonna have Coke flavored Oreos and
That is.
Oreo flavored Coke, that one I'm more interested in trying, because that could be anything.
I think you could very easily pull off Coke flavored Oreos, but not Oreo flavored Coke. How the fuck? It's just a chocolate Coke, right?
Kinda. They've been doing like limited edition Cokes once a month for like 2 years now. I don't know what's gotten into the Coke people, but I don't know. I think they could pull it off. Steve, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I would have to say if they mix it up, though, too much, then you're going to lose your authenticity. And that's something that I want them to stay true to.
Yeah.
Coke or Oreo?
Both. Tyler?
I was going through YouTube the other day and I was watching people drink like old expired things to see how their body would react. And this person found like a 20-year-old, or maybe honestly at this point, it was an old video, it was like 30 years, like a Crystal Pepsi. Did you guys ever taste that? What does that taste like?
Crystal
Real
Pepsi.
early 90s.
I remember
Those-
that. He
Real
puked
early
violently,
90s.
like
that.
extremely.
But it was
Crystal
like see-through.
Yeah, it was clear. They tried to make all sodas clear for a while there. It didn't work well. Yeah, so this was 92 to 94. I would have been 5. They weren't really
How old do you think
handing
we are,
me.
dude?
I don't know.
I think Tyler thinks we're like 50 years old. Like he'll
Yeah.
reference us as these guys over here. These old.
Yeah.
You guys got a decade on me.
Nah, I don't. How old are you, Tyler?
I'm 26. Jared, you got
I only
8
got like
years.
7.5 on you, I think.
Coley, how old are you?
34 for 8 more days.
Ooh. So yeah, about 8 years. And Jake's a year older than me.
Mhm.
Wait, Mick, is your day the day?
No, the day after.
They are.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm. It's Will Middlebrook's birthday because he said it on the broadcast today.
He did. Yep.
Happy early birthday, Will.
It's not his birthday yet.
That's why I said
Happy
early
birthday,
birthday.
Dom Smith.
Happy birthday to Dom
Yeah,
Smith.
it's,
We
yeah,
can
Dom,
definitely,
Dom.
Talk about the moment the vibes really died. Getting rid of Dom Smith.
Mm-hmm. You're not wrong. I mean, it was kind of when they agreed to play baseball for the second half.
When they
better
had
point.
signed the form, will you play the second half of the season?
We're holding a playoff spot right now. We're actually just fine with that. We'll see you guys in October.
Yeah. It's like
Dom
That's
said-
basically how the minor league thing goes. Like, yeah, we were good for this amount of time, so just lock us in for the playoffs. Thank you.
Dom's
like
miserable
blackjack.
in Cincinnati.
we're gonna stay. Oh. Okay. Luis Severino, 9-6, 3.96 ERA, a 1.26 WHIP, and a 7.7 strikeouts per 9. On August 8th, Severino threw a complete game shutout against the Marlins. This has carried him in a month where he has been pretty average otherwise. In 4 other starts, 19 and 2/3 innings, 27 hits, 13 earned runs, 7 walks, 27 strikeouts, 4 bombs. That's a 5.95 ERA, by the way, with a 178 WHIP. That's awful. His four seam has been 96.1, which is nice. The Mets are 13-13 when he starts this year, so literally anything could happen. David Peterson, 8-1. He's been really good. 2.83 ERA, 132 WHIP, and a 6.8 strikeouts per nine. Obviously doesn't strike out a lot of guys. He's been wildly effective over the last month. He hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs in his last 6 starts. He has a 1.86 ERA and a 5.74 OPS in the same stretch. Very good against lefties, which is bad news for the Red Sox because that's all we have. 2.33 with a 6.39 OPS against lefties. The Mets are 13-3 when he starts, and they've won 5 straight. Then we have Tyler McGill.
You're doing it like Randy Savage, but not. Like you're like there's some Macho Man in the
Yeah, Tyler McGill. Yeah. Yeah. Tyler McGill. This guy, if we don't win this game, 3-5, 4.82 ERA, 139 WHIP, and a 10.5 strikeouts per nine. He was brought back up from the minors to make his first appearance in the MLB since the end of July. He went 5 1/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, but it was against the White Sox, so you have to throw that one out. He's a righty, throws about 96-ish, 95, 96-ish. He throws 8 pitches like an asshole.
They used to compare him to DeGrom. Remember when he first came up? He was like getting those weird ass comps.
8 pitches. His splitter and his curve have a 40% whiff rate, and his cutter has a 629 slug against, so his cutter sucks. No information on the other fucking 20 pitches that he throws. Asshole. So that is Brian Bayo versus Luis Severino, Cutter Crawford versus David Peterson, which is on TBS. When's the last time a game has been exclusive to TBS?
Is it exclusive?
It's not. It's on Nestle.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, okay. All right. Tanner Houck versus Tyler McGill. You know what, Steve? Why don't you go first?
Hell yeah, brother. This is the Red Sox 7th series, only the Red Sox 7th series ever at the Mets.
Oh.
They are 6-1 all time at Citi Field. They only lost 1 game at Citi Field, and that was 10 seasons ago. So shout out Sox, dude. Severino versus Bayo on Monday night is going to be a fun matchup. I'm looking forward to that one in the series opener.
Mm-hmm.
David Peterson has a 1.86 ERA, or at least had a 1.86 ERA in August, so he's looking really good. Game 2, I think, is going to be an L. If the Sox bats get going, winning 5 out of 6 is not insane this week. That is not out of the question. If they can win this series and then get the White Sox, it is possible. Do I think it's going to happen? Hell no, brother. But there is a chance that it happens. That would have them heading into Section 10 night on Monday with a little bit of momentum. Mets are in a similar spot as the Red Sox, at least have been the last couple of weeks. But here's the thing with the Mets. They've won 4 in a row and are capable of winning 4 in a row. I do not think the Red Sox are capable of doing that. I would love to be wrong, but it seems like they only really might have 10 or 11 actual games that matter left in the season. I don't want that to be the case, but it kind of seems like we're heading that way. Even though I'm saying that, I'm going to stay positive Perrault and go 2 out of 3 in Queens for the Boston Red Sox.
Wow, positive Perrault coming in fucking hot here on a Sunday night on the Lord's Day, the day that Jesus, what did he do on Sunday?
And then the Lord Jesus.
What did he do on Sunday? I know he
played for the Sox.
Yes.
Used to, not anymore.
By the way, great
They
point
suck
by
on
Steve.
Sundays.
Yeah, Steve had the tweet about the Sunday Sox being cooked. That is official. Sunday
1
Sox, RIP.
in the second
That's
half.
not. Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, that really pisses me off when I get tweets from people being like, "Oh, what happened to the Sunday Sox?" Like, the Sunday Sox are gone, dude. That ship has sailed.
What do they say to you?
They're like, "Oh, Sunday Sox, what happened?" Like, basically, it started with the Dodger series, right? That was the first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's kind of when the season went to shit.
I'd argue it started getting real bad when the Rockies rocked the Soxies. When the Rockies...
Can I add one thing?
Yeah, what do you got to...
It was very funny
late.
when...
It's late, man. That's not a suspension. Come on, man.
That's great.
It's close.
It's 12:35, dude. Come on.
Wow. You think that's acceptable at a different hour?
Yeah. This guy's going to use "I'm tired" as an excuse. You think that holds up in the court of law?
I was tired.
Sorry,
Sir
officer. I
Judge.
didn't mean to fucking take out that light pole and crush and pin that infant child
But
in between
officer,
the
it's
my
12:35.
car. I was tired.
I don't know what to tell you.
I was
officer.
tired. Oh, all right. Yeah, that doesn't hold up.
Tyler?
It was very funny when Reese McGuire walked in front of our interview.
Oh my God.
All
Yeah,
I could
that's
think
funny.
about was that segment
Yeah.
where we were talking about everything and he just looks at us and he just keeps it moving. Very funny moment.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yep. Rockies beat
Was the
Red
Rocky
Sox.
series was after the Dodgers though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
yeah,
5
right
out of
after.
6 right after the break.
Yeah. I mean that Dodger series I kind of yeah. Jake.
I guess I got a fucking sweep, dude. I don't know. I mean, it just makes me look like an asshole series after series. So let's get a sweep so I can maybe get something on the board here.
That
Red
doesn't
Sox,
sum it up. Right
they've
there.
broken our sweet Jake. We can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you wearing your WooSox jersey right now, Jake?
Oh yeah.
Oh, let's go, Jake.
There you go. Yeah.
let's get the name.
Yeah.
Let me see the name, Jake.
Yeah. Turn around.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
You thought you were about to throw some ass or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, twerk, Jake. Twerk.
Yeah. Throw that ass. Yeah. Throw some ass, Jake.
Late night section 10. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Dude, you see the end of the YouTube? Jake was throwing it back.
Yeah, he was.
Throw some ass.
Yeah, he was.
I was heaving cheeks. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, chucking butt.
Chucking butt.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Tossing tush.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was heaving hams on a Sunday night. The Lord's Day, as they say.
Well, Monday morning you can start tossing.
Yeah. Praise God. Praise God.
Holiday, no less.
Yep.
Some holiday hams from Yowzy.
Mhm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. A family program.
Yeah.
He's still doing it, dude. It's crazy.
He's still doing it.
Just round of applause from the man himself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jared, you have no idea how hard we laughed at that picture of you just in the dark.
Really?
It was
You were
like
so
weirdly
funny.
unfocused, like
You just look so defeated.
Yeah.
Just like, the power is out.
It's a man who's just at the end of the road, just like, I don't know, guys.
Yeah.
I might not be around
Well,
anymore.
because the first time, half the power went out. This time, it just was like, boom, and I was just sitting in complete darkness.
Yeah, we just pictured you for like that 45 minutes, just still sitting there.
Just
like,
sitting
I don't
there,
know,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. Tyler?
excited to see some old friends. Sneaky a lot on the Mets. JD Martinez, Adam Ottavino, Jose Iglesias, and they called up Pablo Reyes yesterday. So I feel like they're throwing vibes right in our face right now. The fact that they're
those Adam Ottavino fucking
hey,
school
first half
shooter
Adam
vibes.
Ottavino before they ran him into the ground.
Mhm.
He was helping that 2021 Red Sox team. I promise you that.
Mhm.
And Jose Iglesias is enough to break a man.
Yeah.
But going through the games this series overall, Brian Bayo, we know what he's done since the All-Star break. 3.42 ERA, 3.93 FIP. Hopefully he can keep building on that, and he should be better than Luis Severino. Cutter Crawford, the last 2 starts has improved, but lefty on the mound and David Peterson. Even though the FIP's above 4, I don't feel good about that game. Hopefully the last game with Tanner Houck, keep throwing the sinker. It's been working. We talked about the last 5 starts, but what worked in 4 out of 5. It's a 3.23 ERA, 4.48 FIP, but we know at this point he's not missing many bats out there. Mets are doing kind of everything pretty well. They're 11th in starter ERA in the second half, 10th in bullpen ERA, and they're 11th in weighted runs created plus. If you're going to watch out for one guy in this series, it's Pete Alonso. He's a Red Sox killer, career 302 hitter with 3 home runs in 11 games. Just be careful, please, because even on the road at Fenway, he's hit well, but I don't want to see him hit any game-winning homers off the Red Sox. But give me 2 out of 3, the first and last game.
Wow. Sandwich pick. People were asking for a sandwich sponsor for sandwich picks. Jake's just throwing ass right now. He turned his fucking camera off.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yapping and clapping with Jake.
Yapping and clapping. The amount of
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Throwing cheeks.
Yeah.
He's tossing tush.
Yeah, that's gonna be his spin-off podcast, Yapping and Clapping. The amount of people that on the way out of the diner yesterday were telling Jake to just shut the fuck up during the podcast. It's crazy. Coley?
They're 4-1. The last 5 times Bayo's towed the rubber. That's a win. They just win when Bayo's out there. Doesn't matter what he does. They're going to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
But to Tyler's point, I was going to bring up, it is a lot of faces, a lot of familiar faces, a lot of former teammates, not even that long ago, not distant former teammates. So that's going to make it feel like a home game. So they're for sure not winning this series. They're losing those next 2 games.
I'm with you. That's exactly what I was going to do. I was going Bayo, dub, lose the next 2. I got 1 out of 3. I got all the confidence in the world in my guy, Brian Bayo. Not to say that I don't have. I mean, Cutter Crawford actually pitched pretty well last time out.
He did.
But that being said, I've got the Red Sox losing the next 2 games. I do.
Feels like Vientos hits one like 5-10 off Cutter.
I mean, whatever. I bet you Frankie Lindor does something crazy where we're like, damn,
20 things.
Mm-hmm. He's having a
Especially
crazy good year.
Yeah,
We could do the cycle. I wouldn't be stunned if the cycle happens in this one.
Who hits it?
Lindor.
Shout out Blake Swihart's fake inside the park home run that happened at Citi Field back in 2015.
Hmm?
You remember that? The ball actually was out of the ballpark, but they just counted it back in those days. And he came all the way around to score.
Back in those days, he says.
I'm telling you, dude. This
Those
young buck.
days.
Back in the day, man.
It's a decade ago.
I guess. 2015, first season of Section 10.
Mm-hmm. Hell of a year.
Some 501 episodes ago, Tyler.
Here I am now.
You were walking in 2nd grade, screaming at the top
Yeah, I
of your
think
lungs.
Tyler was
listening
like, 8 years old at that point.
Yeah.
Now I'm slandering you in the newspapers.
To the press.
To the press. He went outside the clubhouse walls, spoke to the press. It's fine.
Will I be traded or released?
Just know how I operate, Tyler. That's not equal.
What does that mean?
Whites first. And then
My retaliation is always 10x.
Do what you have to do.
It's not what I have to do. It's just what I want to do.
It's a scary line.
Mm-hmm. How's the weather looking in this series, Steve?
Weather Look Ahead is brought to you by Billy's Gummy
Wait a
Bears.
second.
What?
Oh, wait, never mind.
The hell was that?
we got Jake.
What was that?
What? What, dude?
What'd you just do?
Nothing. I want to. Nothing. Go ahead.
All right, man.
You're an idiot. I said you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said you're fine. Shut up. What the hell? I didn't say shut up. Weather Look Ahead is brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears.
They chew them with your mouth.
Chew them with your mouth. The Sox are heading to Queens to take on the Mets while the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open are happening right across the street from Citi Field. It's a tennis tournament, and they're down to the final 16 in the singles.
Where's the Tennis Hall of Fame, Steve?
It is in Rhode Island.
Where?
Newport.
Yes. Correct.
Monday, game 1, 7:10 p.m. Eastern, first pitch. It is sunny, and it is 76 degrees! Oh!
Let's go! A perfect 76 degrees in the series opener for the Sox, where I think all of us had the Red Sox winning this game. Even before knowing it was going to be 76 degrees, we all knew something in our gut said, this is a Sox W. Now we know it's 76 degrees. Holy shit.
Holy shit. 0% chance of rain.
Holy shit.
9-mile-an-hour winds. Really good night at the ball yard on Monday, and really all series. Every game is 7:10 start, so that means Tuesday, game 2, 7:10 start, sunny, 71 degrees. 0% chance of rain as well. 3-mile-an-hour winds. Wednesday's the series finale, 7:10 as well, sunny, 72. Degrees, 0% chance. It is not going to rain. Not going to rain in the series, which is wonderful. 6-mile-an-hour winds. Really comfy series this week in New York, which is right across the street from the U.S. Open that is going on at the same time. And that will do it for your weather look ahead, which is brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears. Chew them with your mouth.
I'm just happy we got one, you know? I'm happy we got one. Steve?
Oh, no, I was just doing one. Like, I was like, having one. I was like, hat tipping.
Jake, how long has this podcast been, huh?
I think we're just over 3 hours here.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I missed what? Like, first hour? 45 minutes?
40.
40?
Yeah, that was a clean 40.
Yeah, I sat out for a clean 40. Do you guys think I was going to come back or no?
Coin flip.
When you said the power line thing, it seemed pretty iffy.
Yeah, we couldn't tell if that was a like 10-minute thing or like a month ordeal.
Yeah. There's no way that guy needed to do that right then and there. I think he was kind of looking at it as like, tomorrow's a holiday. I'm going to try and get some time and a half to just take down this power line and put it back up again. Like, everything was fine.
Yeah, so he just caused an issue to fix
Correct.
to like justify what he was doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I've never heard of a house having half of its power before. I do think something needed to be fixed.
The stroke
Maybe.
analogy was good, Coley. That's
Yeah.
exactly
your house
what
had
it
a
felt
stroke.
like.
Yeah, because Coley did FaceTime me to confirm that some shit was working and some shit wasn't. Like, you saw it.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you first picked up, you were just in the light, and I said, you have power, you lying sack of shit.
Yeah.
And then saw the rest of the house and could confirm you did not have full power.
Right. You know? But I have full power now. Full power to retaliate against Tyler Milliken for what he said to me to the press. You never know when it's going to happen.
This is like the How I Bet Your Mother like slap bet like thing where it could happen at any time where you get your life
Yeah,
absolutely
or
turned
the
upside
example that we literally talked about earlier.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What was the example?
Not only, like, he didn't listen to the show before he was on it, he doesn't listen to the show when he's on it, too, which is crazy.
You didn't say what
Or
you were
the
gonna
example
do to me.
that made perfect sense that was already mentioned
Mhm.
before.
Yep.
He's got no clue.
No.
I was
the
talking
family
during this?
guy, and Tyler said, "No, it's not an anime. I can't fuck." That
No, I
Peter
heard
Griffin pillow.
the Brian thing, you know, where's my money?
Yeah.
You're going to do that to me?
And you got Zolak. He's probably going to throw your coffee in your face. when he
I've
gets
somehow
it for you
upset
tomorrow.
both of my workplaces in a 2 or 3 hour podcast. It'll be a rough week for me. It's a rough life.
A lot of people were talking to us about Pigeon Forge. Like, a lot of people came through the line. They were like, I don't know what Brock was talking about. Pigeon Forge is fucking awesome.
Yeah, we won't say who, but we got a big thumbs up to go there from a certain somebody.
I don't know what you're talking about, but someone
To go to Pigeon Forge.
who said that we can't say their name.
You were sitting right next to it. No, I just don't want to, it's I don't
Oh,
want to even
yeah, okay, I remember now.
Yep.
Jared's like, fucking spill it, dude.
Yeah, you were 2 inches to his right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is a good pod. Good start to the second half road to 1,000 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
That 1,000th episode, man. Brock's gonna be so pissed. That whole episode is gonna be about our experience at Pigeon Forge.
Mm-hmm.
Why did it take us so long to get to 500? I feel like we do episodes all the time.
There was
Probably
a
the
thing
2-year
where we didn't do
hiatus.
it for 2 years.
2
Yeah.
years, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you had that nice fellow who was always there for you, J-Dog.
Jake?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Jake
That's a
was
good
there.
take.
Jake did
That's a
come.
great take,
Yeah,
actually.
he did come with me.
Now he's throwing ass.
Yeah, he's
Clapping
evolved,
and
man.
yapping.
Yeah, you never would have caught him doing that 2 years ago, but
No. No.
now he's just like throwing that ass. Yeah, yapping and clapping.
Boom sauce.
Yeah,
That's going to be an unbelievable shirt.
yapping and
It's
clapping.
just him twerking.
It's just
Him on the
Jake.
pole.
It's Jake twerking with a megaphone.
Just
Crazy. Does anyone have any final thoughts? I'm just gonna start doing that instead of like making everyone have a final thought. Because some of you guys, Tyler,
You know who's got one.
yeah, Tyler is like, we'll just be like, yeah. So, anyways, I mean,
I'm
ahead,
actually
Tyler.
going to forego my final thought today as a sign of respect for my sins.
you raised your hand to say this?
yeah, you gave a final thought. Your final thought is that you don't have a final thought.
Correct.
Do you have a final thought?
I apologize.
You already did that. Do
That's
you
all I
have a
got.
final thought?
Do you want me to actually share it?
If you have an interesting thought about something in the minor leagues, then that would be worth noting.
Shout out to Kyle Teal. Had his first really big game at AAA at the plate today. 2 for 4 day. Homered. Had a nice RBI along with that on a single. Mikey Romero is absolutely tearing it up since his promotion to AA. Hit his third homer. It's 360. He hasn't walked, so it's a 360 OBP, but the OPS is an 1120. And everyone who loves Juan Valera, you know, we've talked again and again about the Red Sox having pitching, especially in the lower minors, that you can kind of get excited about. Well, he had another no-hit performance over 4 innings. Continues to be an absolute freak down in Salem. So something to kind of cling to and be excited about. It's a 163 ERA in 60 innings this year. So probably the most exciting super young arm in the Red Sox system right now.
Jake's takes.
Yeah, just shout out little Scottie Zolak over there at the hub. I think he gets a little more airtime. He could really pop off.
Damn, dude.
I'm sorry, Zo.
Damn, throwing ass, huh? Teaser's out. Cheeseburger. Paxton is the officer from the Titanic.
Tyler yapping to the media.
Tyler talking to the media. and Jake throwing ass. That's a great one.
That's one of the best ones of the year.
Yeah. Cole, you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, my guy, Justin Gonzalez, absolutely backpacked the Red Sox to the Dominican title. Things you just love to see. 17-year-old, 6'5", first baseman / corner outfielder. Very excited. Very excited about that potential.
Steven?
Yeah, we've talked about it, but Sox bats just got to get going. Only 2 guys over the last 2 weeks have hit over 270, and that is Jaron Duran and Romy Gonzalez. Romy has 0 RBIs in that stretch. Jaron has way more than 0. Jaron Duran, like you mentioned, Jared, he's been the MVP of the team, and I do think that's how we're going to look back at this season. I always say the season's kind of broken into 6 parts. Well, there's only 1 part left. Percentage-wise, that's exactly what's left in the year. Hopefully, at least a decent chunk of it matters, even though I think we're kind of leaning it won't. I think we'll learn a lot from this series in Queens. Go Sox.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just kind of, I don't know. I wanted, if they weren't going to do anything in the month of September, if they weren't going to be in it, if they weren't going to make the playoffs, like at least give me some piece of Nuttown to watch at the big league level, and it doesn't even seem like we're going to get that. So I'm more so in a Jesus take the wheel situation where my expectations are very, 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 very low. If they don't make the playoffs, it's not going to hurt me because I've kind of already accepted that. I accepted that before the season started. Like, you know, like my excitement level in terms of getting there has gone. It's not been consistent. It's been up. It's been down. Like you're getting my hopes up. You're letting me down. I think it peaked as we talked about with that Royal series when they took 2 out of 3 from Kansas City. That was probably the peak of my optimism. Ever since then, it's kind of just been like, yeah, maybe there's a chance, or like, oh, we could do it, but like, not really. I don't know. So yeah, my expectations are very low. I don't think that they're dead. I do think that there is some outside shot that the Twins could continue to suck. I mean, they can't hit. So the Red Sox could get hot and maybe sneak in, or at least make it interesting. Like I said, I'm not going to be super disappointed if they don't make it. I am going to be super disappointed if they fall out of it. Like if it is the last week of the season and they're like 2 games out or something like that, and they don't make it, then I'll be like, thank you for getting me to the finish line, keeping me engaged. That's really all I'm looking for. Because we know that they're not going to win the World Series if they do get in. So, like, how much longer after they get in is the season going to be? An extra week? Like, who cares?
If that Twins series matters, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You got to September 20th, and it still matters.
Yeah. That's really, like, I know it sounds crazy, and you know, we come from an era of, like, expecting a championship every single year to now I am legitimately saying if they don't make the playoffs, I'm fine with that this year. Just stay in it. If you stay in it and you keep it interesting and get me to the end of the season with an outside shot or the belief that it could happen, I'm fine with that. Even if they come up short, I'm fine with that. But we are kind of teetering on that not being a thing. Like we are teetering on too many games out. Not enough time left. So big series against the Mets in order to stay in it and keep this season relevant for us. So go Sox. And we'll be back here on Wednesday night for us, Thursday morning for you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming out to Worcester. And we'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.
Buenas noches, amigos.